Okay, hi everyone. I think we're live now. Thank you for tuning in from wherever you are, Town, YouTube, Facebook. Welcome to Techstars Startup Weekend Global Web3 Edition. Okay, that's a mouthful. So I have here with me my other co-hosts. I think just while we wait, for the rest of the people to start streaming in. For those over here who are on Town, perhaps I could, have a little interaction, just to type in the chat, where you guys are from. Which country you're at. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, for those who are here, let me see how many of you guys are here. We could. Okay. All right. Yeah, so for those who are here, don't be shy. Do type in the chat, which country you're from. I myself, we're all here based in Singapore, and another co-host, is actually based in Hong Kong right now. Yeah, but I guess to make a guess, just make a guess, so how many countries, all our participants are from. I think this year we actually have the most number of countries, I think, till date, that participants are coming from. So make a guess too in the chat. Want to populate the chat in Town. Yeah.
Right. When we see people coming from all around the world, some people are typing not English. So we feel like it's really international events. Back to the question that you asked, how many countries are there that people coming from to join this event? I would say, since we're one of the largest Web3 hackathons in the world right now, and we have about like 200 countries in the world, I guess we have at least 100 countries people are coming to hack the Web3. Am I right?
100 countries, close.
Higher or lower?
Higher.
Higher.
I see one from Hong Kong. Higher, yeah.
Higher. 110? 110?
No, higher.
120? Am I close?
Yes. Yep. 120. Yes. So whooping 120 countries, that we have received, participants and finalists, they're all from 120 countries. So really excited about how big scale, this event has become. Really, welcome everyone from all parts of the world. Yeah. So I'm seeing people typing in the chat, India. Okay, I see a few India, Mauritius. Oh, that's one area or country I've not heard before. Yeah, so I think hi. Yeah. So I guess quick other questions. Okay, so I think we are still waiting for people to come in. For those who are here, your friends to sign up but not here, please ping them, on Discord or whatever. WhatsApp them to come right online on Town now. Of course, if you can't access Town, they can also access YouTube and Facebook. I think that's where our events are live also. So yeah, so I think that's what I just want to give a shout out there too. So I don't know, I guess Keith, next other questions, just while we wait for people to come in. I guess I don't know how many designers, developers do you think they are here right now with us?
I actually don't know, but like we know that actually people they're being affected by the tech layoff. They're not too surprised to see that many people they're actually in tech background from big tech firms or they're serial entrepreneurs trying to jump from Web2 to Web3. And I would say majority of entrepreneurs are either designers, developers, or hipster, the business people. I would say like 33 for each of them, maybe.
Okay. Listen, I don't have the exact number on the top of my head. But again, I think for those who are here, please also type in the chat. I think we'd love to find out, how many of you guys are designer developers. I know for every team, we all need one of each. And I think to make sure that it's a dynamic team, to work on the idea. So really excited, to have you guys here with us also. So yeah, but I guess how are you feeling right now? I think at my
very
side,
excited, very excited. Like, you know what? I mean, like we're from all around the world, like within like time zones, right? We have speakers and judges who are coming later on. People who are living in the Oceania or like in Asia, they're like actually at night or like midnight. People like coming from the States, which is like early morning. So like we just keep the energy up for the next 3 hours to witness the bond of the 10 winning companies, so 10 winning projects, right? These people have gone through like months and weeks to really think about how to actually innovate and to bring the mass adoption into the Web3 world. So very thrilled, very excited, very looking forward to all the pages happening.
Same, likewise. So I think without further ado, I know we've done a bit of talking. I know we have quite a few people here with us now too. Probably just to kick off, I think, some of the numbers mentioned just now, participants are coming from 120 countries. We have with us also, over 20 speakers, mentors, and judges, and actually up over 1,700, people has actually registered, for the event. So we're expecting, numbers to really go up, as we go on for this event. Yeah, so I think enough about that. I know we've done a lot of talking, but we actually not properly introduced ourselves. So maybe I'll go first. So hi everyone, I'm Eating, your facilitator for today. So I'm actually the Program Innovation Manager here at StartupX. I'm running some of the accelerator programs that we do, with corporates and governments. I think this is my first event that's related to Web3. Very new to the space, so definitely excited. I think to be wowed, by some of the features later on today. Yeah, so I think I also have with me Keith, which is my co-host. Probably Keith, I'll over to you. Maybe talk about, I guess, how's your Startup Weekend been so far? I think unlike me, you've been following Startup Weekend for over, I think, 7 to 8 years, right?
Yeah, I mean, thanks for passing the mic to me. I'm really glad to co-host with you to see the most exciting project in the Web3 space. So my experience is basically, I mean, Startup Weekend, as the name stated, is a weekend events, right? So we have been seeing different kind of themes in AI, healthcare, green, or even space tech events that's happening all around the world. And for me, I think I joined it about 10 years ago for my first event as a participant. So I see how people get together, getting good food, mingling with good entrepreneurs and mentors and investors. Eventually, for me, it's kind of how can I actually help more people like me, right? And I can turn my role into hosting events, even introducing events in the Startup Weekend community.
That's good. So I think we can go next. So Keith, yeah.
Yep. Startup Weekend is a global movement. It's backed by a company called Techstars. They're one of the most active accelerator VC that is based in US, but they have footprints programs all around the world. One of the really cool thing about them is they also support grassroots entrepreneurs. People, they want to be entrepreneur, they want to change the world. They can come and join events such as Startup Weekend, and a bunch of other community events, and that they can be co-founders, they can train their skill set, eventually really create a project. We actually been seeing many companies coming from Startup Weekend, which are kind of skip that part because you find all the really cool story about Techstars, how they invest in companies, how they have exit. That's really born from a hackathon events like Startup Weekend events, right? The really backbone about this event is hosted by the Startup Weekend Singapore team, and also with a company that's really enabling the startup ecosystem in Southeast Asia and beyond called StartupX. So they also run events, programs for governments, for corporates, for startup entrepreneurs, even for students. That is from day zero. This event cannot happen with some sponsors, right? So really glad to have 3 of them that is being highlighted in this slide. So that are being Polygon, Unstoppable Domains, and also Geta. So Polygon needs no introductions, right? They are one of the world's largest Web3 ecosystems. They are scaling solutions, layer 2 solutions for Ethereum, which we all know about, right? We're really glad to have them supporting events massively. And also Unstoppable Domains, you can get the domain eventually. Now you can control and own by yourself, right? You can get a domain with extension like .nft, .x, .bitcoin, even .wallet or .nft, right? You can own, simply plug in with wallet, you buy it, you own it, right? And finally, with Get It Down, it's a very cool platform that we do virtual meeting with the pixelated character that can move around to mingle with people. Is really fun, right? So all of the attendees already, participants already gone through the Get It Down gaming movement, also seeing, joining us in some of the past sections. We're going to go through on the Get It Down because I've been seeing people chatting already there. Since we are streaming all the channels, but people are still chatting on the Get It Down. So have fun on the platform. So as I mentioned, Techstars Weekend is one of the largest, I would say the largest grassroots entrepreneurship program in the world. So it incepted more than about 15 years ago. And now they have over 500,000 participants, right? People, they want to be entrepreneur, they want to inspire other entrepreneurs in the role of ex-entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur, even investor positions, right? All people come together and to witness how a really cool idea is being born. The events also, the numbers of the events has already passed 7,000 events globally. If we really do a quick calculation, there are at least one event, South Weekend events happens every single day. The number is like, you can really imagine, right? It's not only happening in one event, but sometimes the organizer also hosts pre-events, post-event, and definitely with this events, we hope to see offline one day in after party, let's say in Singapore or anywhere that's really friendly to Web3 developers and entrepreneurs. Number is huge. We know that there are over 160 countries hosting South Weekend events across 1,800 cities. The number is still climbing up. So why South Weekend event is so popular, and what if many entrepreneurs actually volunteer to help others, right? I witnessed that, right? Basically, it's a global movement on connectivity events. It's only happening within 3 days, 54 hours. You can see how people come together with different backgrounds, counting from designers, hackers, industry expert, and a lot of people, they're trying to be entrepreneur, but they find no way to do a Kickstart. And this event is an ignition point for them to think, to learn the basics, to eventually create a company that's supported by the most experienced entrepreneur in their hometown and also on online platform. The really key thing is to transform an idea into reality in a very short period of time using a lean startup methodology, that you have to test with your idea with the customers, talk with them, go for your building, do a prototype, and then to test to see whether it works or not before investing tons and tons into R&D. And that's why experimental learning is really the key thing that drives the success of entrepreneurs from day zero. There's a guy that I met, also the really big brain of the South Weekend global events, and he's Derwin. I met Derwin back in 2015 when I was volunteering at events. He was a host, and the whole energy that he brought in the whole events really get a lot more people becoming entrepreneur. And also there are a lot of people who join events in his events, eventually come and support this event for years and years. He's now working a lot on creating programs and supporting initiatives for entrepreneurs that include investment, accelerators, incubators, and different like hackathons programs, right? Without further ado, let me kind of invite my old friend and also the main organizer of this event, Derwin, please.
Thank you, Keith. Thanks, Eating. Both the facilitators are doing a good job so far. Well, it's been a while, it's been a journey. So let me just start. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen, folks from all around the world, joining us right now for the finale of Startup Weekend Global. It's truly heartening to see everyone coming together to learn, grow, and build as a community. The Startup Weekend movement is not new. It has been around for nearly 15 years. But for the first time ever, Startup Weekend Global is uniting the world and stepping into the Metaverse to learn about Web3. From Web2 to Web3, we want to help bridge people who are curious and interested into the wild and wonderful world of Web3. So I'm looking forward to hear the pitches. It's the finale and all the creative ideas that have been built over the last 3 months. I'm going to be honest with you. When we first conceived of running this Startup Weekend, it was back in January 2022. And times were, of course, a lot better. After that, the markets went all gloomy and things got a little rough for everyone, Web2 and Web3. We initially aimed for 500 participants. We shot past 1,000 a month ago, and now more than 1,750. So what started in tiny Singapore has now spread all over the world, and people from more than 119 countries have joined us. From countries like Nicaragua, Nepal, Guadeloupe, and Burkina Faso. Yeah, these are real cities and countries that people come from. And cities like, Toluca, Casablanca, Wolverhampton, Dusseldorf, and Malabon. The reason why I want to say all this is because never before, running 11 years of Startup Weekend, have I seen such a good spread and diversity of talent coming from all around the world. And they all united in one mission. And that's really heartening. So isn't that beautiful? Isn't that inspiring to see people from all walks of life partake and energize each other in a global hackathon? Now, speaking of a global hackathon, I do hope you enjoy the Metaverse we created, painstakingly, if I may add, to ensure a smooth and fun experience for everyone to connect, discuss, and network. We designed the Metaverse specifically to capture the imagination and make it as fun as possible for everyone, regardless of where you are. For those who have yet to join us on Discord at Hackathon, please do so. We intended for these platforms to be open and free-flowing long after the Startup Weekend Global, so people can continue to connect and build with one another. For those who recall, we had amazing mentors like Darren Rogan and Manny, who shared valuable insights during their masterclasses. We'll be having some fantastic judges like Andre from Turo and Lauren from Women of Web3. More on them later. I'm sure the facilitators will do a good job introducing them. And it's always fun to see such amazing judges and mentors join the Startup Weekend community. But of course, no Startup Weekend is complete without the supportive partners and sponsors, right? On behalf of my team and everyone at Startup Weekend, I'd like to thank Polygon, our whale sponsor, Unstoppable Domains, and GatherTown, our shark sponsor, Google for Startups, GoDaddy, and Miro, our global sponsors. All the prizes and swag sponsors, the lovely judges and mentors, our beloved media partners and community partners, our friends at Techstars. And lastly, my team at StartupX, all the community members and partners, and our lovely volunteers. For the participants, my final parting words is to have fun, like I always say. Doesn't matter who wins tonight, there are no losers in Startup Weekend. Startup Weekend is more than just winning or losing. It's about the people you meet, the ideas you share, the companies you build, and the magic you create. So have fun, have a good time, and have faith in the notion that you can change the world too, one weekend at a time. I wish everyone the best for Startup Weekend Global, and let's enjoy the final pitches. Okay, the next person I'd love to invite up is a really very, very special guest. As one of the original co-founders of Startup Weekend back in 2007, he did the first Startup Weekend back then. He was the original co-founder. He scaled Startup Weekend to more than 180 countries, 800 cities, and collectively more than 10,000 organizers. Well, he went on to do so much more, and now he's a partner at Greater Colorado Venture Fund. I mean, this guy, literally one of the OGs of Startup Weekend back in the early days, and he has done everything from running Startup Weekend to running his own startups to managing a fund now. We got him back to share some of his insights and experiences and hopefully motivate us as we head into the final pitches. So without further ado, it is my distinct pleasure to invite Mark. Mark, if you will, yes, I see Mark, and the co-founder of Startup Weekend actually, up on stage to say a few words. How are you, Mark?
Hey, Derwin, thank you very much. And Yiting and Keith, thank you very much as well for setting an amazing stage here.
Yes. Thank you so much. The stage is yours, Mark. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, I will say that you made me feel a little bit old, at least. Yeah, 2007 does feel like eons ago. It's kind of funny. I wanted to talk a little bit about how I got into the journey and how Startup Weekend was even created. But one primary theme, it was really created by just saying yes. There were a bunch of, at the time, folks that were earlier in their career, all different ages, not necessarily young, that were willing to just raise their hand and say yes, right? Like everybody on this call, it's a Saturday and we're all here talking about entrepreneurship and building a different future and for ourselves and for the world around us. And whether that's technology-based or not, it's all driven by this motivation to create, right? So saying yes a little bit, and in the context of Startup Weekend, by the way, was really born around the advent of the iPhone, when everybody was actually learning what apps were. Every single Startup Weekend that happened in the early days had a majority of all the apps that were actually, or apps was actually a new concept, right? From web app to actually mobile app. And so now we see a similar trend here with Web3, right? A lot of the Startup Weekend ideas around the world. So I really view all the work and the ideas and the energy that you guys have as truly the pointy end of the spear that's shaping the future for entrepreneurship, for industry, for business, right? And so really make sure you own that part of your own journey and how you fit into the world, and take pride in being out kind of on the bleeding edge. So the origin story of Startup Weekend really happened out of me saying yes. I had a friend, Clint Nelson, who had heard of this concept, Startup Weekend. It was around shortly before we got involved, and we went to one of the early events. This gentleman named Andrew Hyde out of Boulder got 100 people together. Everybody shared ideas. They picked one idea, and then they all worked on it until the end of the weekend. And then they split up equity. It was very much a for-profit kind of control. Turns out Clint and I had some ideas, and we were going to convince Andrew, living in Seattle at the time, why he, being in Boulder, should open up Startup Weekend, make it more about the experiential education, that process of exploring and knowing how to go from 0 to 1, right? Andrew said yes. We took a handful of those ideas, and he said yes. So not only did we show up at Startup Weekend opting in just like you, we shared our ideas. And it was one fateful road trip where I had a friend selling a car and sold it to somebody in Denver, near Boulder, all the way from Seattle, you know, a 20-hour drive. And I asked Clint, I said, hey, do you want to come on this road trip with me? He said, yes. We were driving and we said, hey, Andrew, he's in Boulder. Let's go tell him all of our ideas about how to make Startup Weekend even better. We called Andrew and he said, yes. We showed up, we told him all those ideas. And what resulted was a series of empowerment, right? The power of saying yes and inviting others to say yes with you. It empowers everybody, not just you, but others, the opt-in to create something a lot bigger, right? What it ended up creating was a movement. Shortly thereafter, working with Andrew, we ended up buying the actual rights from the business and reformatting the whole business. Clint and I did, and soon later, another co-founder, Frank. We ended up opening it up. We had folks from around the world that were saying, hey, can we bring Startup Weekend to our city, all over the world, including Singapore and many of the countries where all of you are today? We simply said yes. We invited folks with a little bit of guidance to jump in and be part of a global movement, right? And so I think as entrepreneurs, embracing this and understanding that there's a hidden tax to saying no. Sometimes there's a tax to saying yes, but my experience is the vast majority of times, that tax is much smaller when you say yes, and the tax is much greater when you say no, right? If you live your life in pursuit of opportunity, fulfillment and learning and joy, right? The glass is always half full and you're excited for the next rainstorm, right? Because it's only going to add water to your cup. It's funny. And as an investor, I've really moved into looking for this and screening for this in the entrepreneurs. Now, I'm not saying you need to not have this quality, but you need to embrace that quality and be really thoughtful about it. And what does it really lead to? Back to engineering luck, you increase your odds by 10x, 100x. In the world of VC, only 0.05% of companies actually get VC funding. Just 15 deals every single year, 0.004 drive 95% of returns for the venture industry, right? So statistics and odds as an entrepreneur is a game that you're playing. And by saying yes and engineering your luck, you can increase those odds, I guarantee you, by 10 or 100x. And we've seen that ever since 2007 for all of the folks who've been a part of Startup Weekend, being a part of things like Techstars, the accelerator programs, global networks. I really encourage you, say yes, invite people to say yes with you. And it's really a way of living a better life, a healthier life, and aligning your personal relationships, your professional relationships and ambitions, and maybe even starting a global movement. So thank you guys for having me. Thanks for all the work you've put in. And let's be on with it. Let's see the finals.
Yes, thank you, Mark, for saying yes to, for sticking it out event. The Startup Weekend has really come a long way. I think we all stand on the shoulders of giants. So thanks for inspiring us and starting this. It all started, from you and your partners. So I hope you also enjoy our finalist speeches later if you're staying on. No pressure to the teams backstage. So I would invite as Mark take his lead. Maybe up next, we'll have another very, very special guest. Thank you, Mark. So as coined as the world's most powerful tech woman to watch, by Forbes and Times Magazine, named as one of the most influential leaders by Fortune 40 under 40. She holds many hats: a businesswoman, entrepreneur, and author of Wall Street Journal bestseller, Trampled by Unicorn on technology and empathy. And she now actually heads, the Techstars as the CEO, and it's none other than Maëlle Gavet. So may I invite, I think Maëlle is already on stage, to really say a few words, to all our participants who are here today.
All right. Hi, everyone. I am actually in France right now. I'm usually based in New York, but I am celebrating my mother's 70th birthday this weekend. And so I'm calling from France. So I'm Maëlle Gavet, I'm the CEO of Techstars. I'm an entrepreneur. I've built 3 companies from scratch. I love talking to entrepreneurs and to people who think maybe one day they become entrepreneurs, to convince them that this is one of the most amazing things that they can do. Today, as CEO of Techstars, I lead an investment business that has backed over 3,500 pre-seed startups all around the world. We started in the US, in Colorado, but we're now present everywhere. And I get to work with entrepreneurs every day, and I never ever fail to be inspired by their vision, by their resilience, by their optimism. And I'm talking about you if you're an entrepreneur. To me, you are a magician. You are someone who defied the odds to reshape the world around us. Thanks to you, we have search engines and smartphones and electric cars and life-saving medicines. Entrepreneurs continuously improve the way we bank, the way we shop, we eat, we move, we relax. And as an entrepreneur, you're most likely focused on the big challenges of our times, whether it's climate change, mobility, food resilience, human longevity, space, access to banking for the unbanked, and so much more. Innovation in all its form is really the key drivers of progress for humanity. That's really my core belief. And without entrepreneurs who are prepared to take a leap into the unknown, progress would likely be far more limited. So whatever it is that you're working on, thank you so much for doing that. Especially because, as you probably know, not everyone is cut out to be an entrepreneur. Again, I've been a founder 3 times, and founding and running a startup is hard. It means getting up often very early every day and spend a significant amount of your time fighting literally for the life of your company. You know, every time I hear about the overnight success stories of a startup or another, I know that most of the time there is 10 years of hard work behind. If you are lucky enough to succeed, and as you know, there's only lucky few who start and finish successfully the startup journey, it's probably going to be a decade of hard work, continuously falling flat on your face, then picking yourself up only to get knocked down again. And I'm not telling you that to be negative. Hopefully you can see I'm a very optimistic person, and I do, as I say, I believe that entrepreneurs are changing the world. But what I find phenomenal about them is precisely how hard it is, and the fact that they never give up. You need a thick skin to endure being an entrepreneur. You're not going to have a lot of people around you to help you avoid the mistakes. You're going to have to make those mistakes, learn from them fast, and then try again. And to a large extent, that's why at Techstars we look to invest in what we call unstoppable founders. The people who were going to build their business anyway, whatever the obstacles, whatever comes their way. None of that means that you should give up. In fact, no true born entrepreneur is going to give up just because it's hard. To the contrary, they double down and they keep going. So if your dream is to be an entrepreneur, go for it. Remember also that no one succeeds alone. You can be the smartest, and you most likely are if you're attending Startup Weekend. You can be the smartest, most brilliant person in a room, but if you are alone in that room, you're not going to go very far. And that's why events like Startup Weekends are so important, because it gives you the opportunity to connect. You know, I started my first business when I was 16, and I remember loving it, but also feeling incredibly alone. I also remember how a lot of my major breakthrough came from people in my network who helped me when I needed most. In 20 years, what do you think you're going to remember about the startup that you're working on right now? Most likely, you will have forgotten many of the ups and downs, but you are going to remember, the way I remember 20 years later, the people who you met along the way and the powerful role your network played. And again, that's why it's so important to be part of a global entrepreneurial community like Startup Weekend, and hopefully for many of you, part of Techstars. I really recommend that starting today, many of you already have started, you need to consciously make connections by building a network of your peers, your supporters, and your mentors. And again, because you are at Startup Weekend, at this Startup Weekend event, you have a head start. You are already part of a huge community. As you heard before, Startup Weekend has had over 500,000 global participants, with events organized in 172 countries. I had to double check the numbers before I came on stage today. What's more, 180 companies that started at Startup Weekend have gone on to be accepted onto a Techstars accelerator, and around $2.85 billion in venture capital has been raised by these alumni, with 5 of them going on to achieve valuation of at least $1 billion. As for the Startup Weekend Global Web3 edition, I heard that 1,300 of you from 115 countries have participated. That's, as far as I know, the largest Web3 global hackathon by far. Now, Web3 is really, really important, and it's heartening to see founders curious about Web3. I'm someone who is very passionate about the power of entrepreneurship, and I see Web3 as the next big technological frontier, on a par with the creation of the internet and the smartphone. We have over 200 pre-seed investment at Techstars in Web3 and blockchain-focused startup, and we are, as a result of that, one of the most highly engaged and active early-stage investors in the space of Web3. I'm sure you know new technologies tend to take 2 or even 3 waves to reach maturity and widespread adoption. For example, I mean, we're not going to get super technical, but for example, the first design of TCP/IP was introduced in 1974. Without that, the internet would not exist. But mass adoption of the internet took almost 20 years, basically mid-90s. The first wave is usually hype-driven, wildly speculative, and often ends up with decisive crash. In the second wave, the truly useful applications come to fore, and Web3 first wave is over. Wave 2 is now happening, and I have so many high hopes that many of you today are going to build what comes next, and that's why I was so excited to be invited to this event and to participate today. One final advice: make the most of what you have learned through this Startup Weekend and stay in touch with all your peers who participated, because you never know how you can help them and how they can help you. You will succeed, but not alone. Get to work on your idea and become an unstoppable founder surrounded by amazing people. There is 1,300 of them today at this Startup Weekend. If you become a truly unstoppable founder, we hope you will become a part of Techstars for Life through our Founder Catalyst programs or one of our accelerators. And I can't wait to meet you somewhere around the world as I keep traveling and meeting all of you and so many unstoppable founders. That's it. Thank you so much. Excited to see what's going to come out of it.
All right. Thank you, Mel, for inspiring words. I think there's a morale boost that all our finalists needed. I think from my time working with founders, it can really be a lonely journey, working on the idea alone. That's why I think it's very important to have such a strong supportive network, like Techstars. So thanks also being a role model, for many young women and girls, making it in the tech space too. Yeah. So as I invite Mel down to stage, I think next we'll really want to bring you guys through, what all the participants, have gone through over the last Power Pack 3 months. Yeah. So really a diverse group of people coming from all around the world, be it hustlers, designers, developers, hackers, coders, you name it. So this year, why did we really do a Web3 edition? I think Mael touched on a bit. We all know, Web3 markets, went through a lot of ups and downs over the past few months. Lots of hype around NFTs, crypto crashes, a tremendous amount of money that has also gone into the Web3 projects. There are lots of Web2 developers, but I think Web3 is still a very new space to most people. But we do believe that the Web3 has the ability to level the playing field for many, many people. So this year, for the Web3 edition, we focus on 5 main disruptive areas that are up and coming. So namely Web3, the future of internet, Metaverse, reinventing the way people interact, decentralized finance, revolutionizing the world of finance, gaming, transforming the future of gaming, and of course, NFTs. So, time really flies. We actually kickstarted back, in December 2022. All our participants, actually went through a total of 14 workshops and mentoring sessions, learning all about the Web3 space, like growth hacking, blockchain, business models, front-end to RPC, and also how to build your idea using lean canvas, customer validation, pitching, and so on and so on. Lots of sessions, but actually here, I see Keith, you're on the screen here. So maybe you could talk, how was the session? And could you talk me through, I guess, to those who have not been through these sessions, how they went?
Yeah, I mean, as being mentioned by Mia and also Mark, we kind of see the part of like putting entrepreneurs and mentors to come in to help the first-time founders and people who want to build a company in Startup Weekend events. So we have lined up more than 10 mentors in different areas in Web3 space, right? And what we learned a lot is, because I host most of them, what I know is transiting to Web3 is not a new thing. It's a natural progression about how internet evolves. Right, with the whole backend, with all the benefit of Web3, we've been seeing more and more like applications. In the past couple of years of investments, right, and also with the new capital coming in, more on the security and also infrastructure, right. This aligns a lot of the innovation curve, right, being mentioned by the Texas CEO just now. We are expecting to see a more consumer applications in the Web3 space and more innovative things that we can witness in upcoming pages in the events.
Yeah. So, I hope you participants have taken in all these valuable notes, those who attended sessions and really apply them to your ideas and pitches today. So moving on, keeping this in spirit of an online universe, and the fact that we have a very global audience, all our sessions were hosted on GatherTown, which a lot of our audience here are also on GatherTown. So hope you guys really had a lot of fun interacting, at our space, and it is really built by, one of our very own community members. And I just want to put in, I guess, a secret game out there. So if you guys are exploring the space, as we talk, note that there are 3 secret rooms that we've hidden, in the map. So if you guys could figure out, I think that's some tip or like a secret that I let on to those of you who are on GatherTown today. Yeah, so another thing also, so for MyroBot, so another platform that we have, where we post all the resources and recordings, tips and tricks about Web3 edition, here on MirrorBot. So actually all this is actually accessible, to all and every one of you here. So for those of you who might have missed the sessions, not to worry, you can also go on to our Miro dashboard, to really look through the sessions. I think a lot of them are very useful and helpful, to get to know, just learn a bit more about the space and really help, to build on your idea. Yeah, so just for those, who are new to the space here today. Also I just want to, of course, give a very big shout out, to all our mentors who actually offered, their precious time out of your busy day jobs, to impart some of your knowledge and wisdom, to our participants, and really went through that 3-month journey along with us. So, really thank you, Jackson, Tobias, John, Hector, Manny, and also Francisco, Samad, Wendy, Arthur, and Darren, and so on. Just a few names I really want to give a shout out, who gave, some of the useful sessions, to our participants throughout the 3 months. Really couldn't have done it without them. So apart from that, also want to give big shout out to the organizing team, who actually put together so much effort to make this possible. Really, it's brought really all these volunteers, they actually chose to spend their weekend and post office hours to build this global entrepreneurship ecosystem. So really a big thank you, to each and every single one of you. Yeah, so now that we've brought you down the memory lane of what we've been up to, over the past 3 months, we'll now start with the final features. But Keith, why don't you, before we start, why don't you bring everyone through, what we look for in our finalist features, and also introduce, who are our judges today, who will be evaluating, some of the team features today.
Absolutely. It's very exciting actually finally seeing the pitches after 3 months of ideations, brainstorming, all the fighting in the team, right? And now is really the time. So we have selected we selected 10 teams that we'll be presenting today. The judging criteria are based on 4 pillars, including validation, execution and design, business model, and relevance. And these 4 pillars will be count in the same score, same maximum score. So you guys should already having the outline about these 4 points. But for the audience, so what we'll be hearing a lot from the teams, including one validation, means like what problems are the teams are trying to solve? Have they talked to customers? How do they validate ideas that could work? Is that problem solution fit? Well, have they do research? Have they do customers interviews at all? That's validation, right? There may be some numbers showing market research trends showing in the point 1. For 2, execution and designs means rather than speaking and brainstorming, have they really worked on an MVP? Means maybe a work prototype with the coding or at least a mock-up to showcase how the UI will look like in front of customers. Some of them may also spend the time on building a landing page to really acquire the early customers already. And 3 is this business model, how the business money is flowing. What's really revenue model look like? Is a business scalable, right? All this thing is about business model and definitely about how do they acquire customers and scale in the roadmap of like 4 quarters or even like 2 years down the road. And the 4th is relevance, right? We know this event's addition is in Web3, Metaverse, DeFi, NFT, and around that area. So are the teams solving the real problems in this scene? How much impact can they create in the Web3 world? And that all align with the relevance to point 4. So good luck on the pitch. So judges, same as the audience, and they are from all around the world. We're really glad to have them coming here on a Saturday night or morning to help us give some ideas about the upcoming like pitches team. So we have invited 6 of them, and they are all the big names speakers that really generous to spend the time to share their ideas in Web3 and how and also like their experience in the tech and startup field. So we have first one would be Andre. So when I call your name, you can open your screen and say hello to the audience. So Andre, he has led Taurus as CEO and chairperson of the board of directors since 2011. And also, he was the CEO of shopping.com, a leading online comparison shopping network that eBay acquired in 2005 for $600 million. Andre?
Hello, everybody. Great to be here. Very excited to meet the entrepreneurs and can't wait to hear the pitches.
Awesome, awesome. We'll look forward to your comments. And next, we have AJ. So AJ is a co-founder of Skeptic, a 3D AR startup that has acquired by Flipkart, owned by Walmart in India in 2020, which he served as the head of Flipkart Labs, the innovation wing of Flipkart that launched Flipkart Camera, one of the world's largest augmented commerce platform, 5drops, a first of a kind NFT platform in India, and Flippers, one of the largest metaverse activation in the world. And now AJ is a senior VP of head of Developer Studio, a developer-focused arm of Polygon Labs. And definitely we heard about Polygon for many, many times because they're very sportive and sponsor our events. AJ is now managing a couple functions in the team, including DevRel, product apps, open source tools, design and user experience, and last but not least, ecosystem partnership. Welcome, AJ.
Thank you so much, Keith. GM builders, it's so exciting to be here. There's never a dull day in Web3, is there, right? I think at Polygon, I get to meet builders day in and day out, and been following Techstars for many years now. So very, very happy and excited to see all the amazing Web3 projects that you've built, which is going to lay the foundation for the next millions of users to onboard to Web3 in itself. So thank you so much for having me here. Pretty excited to see what you've got to build.
Awesome. Thanks again for supporting our events, Polygon and AJ. Next, we have George. George has a background in evolutionary anthropology, amplify her fascinations with social behaviors, giving her a wide understanding of the ways of which effective decentralized digital money, such as Nano, which is for Nano Foundations, that empower the underbanked by offering a sustainable, fair medium of exchange everywhere on the planet. She's clear that an economy that is open to all and empowers those that marginalize not only financially, but also socially and politically, which will be more robust and resilient going ahead. Thank you for coming, George.
Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited to be part of this global community and huge legacy. And I'm so excited to hear what's up everyone's sleeves and the pictures. So excited.
Super awesome. Same as all of us. We love to empower more women to actually join the tech scene, right? It's not like a thing that we speak on just like verbally, but we actually invite guest Lauren. Lauren is the founder of Women of Web3, a community helping women make a leap into the world of the Web3 3.0. She has 12 years experience in marketing for agency and tech companies, including Meta, where she had Meta's program for female entrepreneurs. Hi, Lauren.
Hi, everyone. I'm really, really pleased to be here. And extra points if you actually are thinking about inclusion in your product. Well, if you're aiming to reach women as well as men with your products, because that's like 50% more people you can ways to monetize. So yeah, really, really pleased to be here. Thanks for having me.
Super awesome. Cool. And next up, we also have a guest, Pravi. Pravi is a technology executive in Wells Fargo. He has 20-year experience in tech management experience in finance, consulting, and retail industry. In his position, he helped to bridge Web2 into Web3. Hello.
Thanks, Keith. Excited to be here and glad to be part of the evolution that we're all part of and see these exciting areas shape up and go to impact all mankind. Thank you.
Awesome, super awesome. And last but not least, let me introduce Dave. Dave is a serial entrepreneur. He has been really actively in the field of IT, data center, and also information security industry. He is a 4-time tech founder, CEO, and being highlighted in Inc. 100 and EY award winner. Hello.
Thanks, Keith. Great to be here. Certainly very familiar with the Techstars ecosystem, know a lot of alumni, just a great program. So excited to be here and just see the excitement and the ideas that are going to come of it. It's a massive revolution, what's going on right now. I like it. It's the internet as well. And there's going to be some great things coming out of it. So thanks for having me.
Super cool, super cool. So we have a profile of like judges that there are not only in investment in community, but also have experience in building something from day zero. You're seeing tons of like entrepreneurs born, raise, scale, and definitely the comments will be very valuable to all the pitches. So let me, without further ado, I think we're going to see the pitch. So these are the lucky 10 teams among more than 1,700 participants in this events. So these teams are Bro Lab, Gata, Metashop, Collective DAO, PMI, DAO Venture Capital, Entropy Labs, Demori, Suriverse, Auto, Protocol. So invite teams come up to pitch the ideas one by one. And the format for that is 5 minutes pitch plus 3 minutes Q&A. So they will be sharing their screen with the pitch deck, maybe also with a video or a demo with the spec by coding. We'll do a reminder with a remaining time of 1 minute and 30 seconds. And judges, you can take a chance to be volunteer to do the questions with the 3 minutes time frame. Then we'll invite the next team to come up. So we have 10 teams, 10 teams. Cool. So the first team, I think you're ready, right? Cool. So first team is from Bro Lab. So Bro Lab, what they're trying to provide, they were trying to provide a product called Metaverse. It's a Web3 UGC metaverse where everyone can create their own virtual space featuring Web3 login, customizable avatar, NFT display, screen sharing, and scriptable objects. So if Henry, you're ready, okay, you can share your screen.
My screen.
I'll do countdown on my side. So you can start anytime when you're ready. Please go ahead.
Okay. So can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so let me get started. So hello everyone, I'm Henry from Metaverse. So Metaverse is a user-rendered and generated content platform that combines the best of Web3 technology with realistic design, allowing users to build their own metaverse. So I see some problem with current Web3 metaverse. the current Web3 metaverse platform like Decentraland and the Sandbox doesn't have many active users. In contrast, the Web2 metaverse platform like Minecraft and Roblox have over 100 million monthly active users. So I think that's because the player in Minecraft and Roblox can create their own world and define their own rule, which leads to a lot of content for users to play with. So we introduce Metaverse. Metaverse aim to bridge the gap by introducing a Web3 user-generated content platform. Our platform combines the UGC platform of Minecraft and Roblox with more realistic design and Web3 feature like NFT and Web3 login. Our vision is for everyone to be able to build their own Web3 metaverse. So let me play some demo. Okay, so our platform is built using 3GS, which makes it lightweight and accessible through many devices like PC, mobile browser, and VR headsets. Some of the features includes in Metaverse Web3 login, display NFT, customize avatar, and screen sharing. As you can see, you can customize your own space. Yeah, you can upload your own model. Let me go through this. So you can upload your own model. You can customize the position, the scale, the rotation of the 3D model, and we do the rest. Okay. Okay. So we have also have Web3 login. We're using unstoppable domain for the Web3 login, so we can make it more faster and reliable. It also has display NFT function. We have our own NFT marketplace. Also, you can use the open ceiling to display your NFT in our space. It also has a customized avatar feature. We integrate the Ready Player Me platform, so you can use this avatar to use in our platform. We also have the share screen feature, so you can make your space like a meeting room or the room for the community. So you can share the screen and share all the things you want in this. It's like other, but in the 3D world. So I will talk a little bit about our ESP. We are cross-platform, so it's available on a major device like mobile PC or via headset. We can customizable space. We integrate with blockchain. We have the scriptable world where you can program your own experience and monetize through the asset store or on your property. Some use case can be the NFT gallery, the community hub, the meeting room, or you can view also the NFT game in here. So I will talk about a business model. So our business model involve in the first time we will providing the 3D model design service to help user create and customize your metaverse space. So as we continue to grow, we plan to develop a marketplace where other 3D artists can become metaverse artists and on our platform and share their 3D model to user. This will allow us to expand our offering and provide a wider range of content for users to be used and explore. And we also have an open source version of Metaverse, but we offer a business edition with premium feature as a software as a service. Okay, so we start with two members. I'm Harry Pham as the product manager, and one developer is Chang Nguyen. Okay, in conclusion, Metaverse is a user-generated content platform that combines the best of Web3 technology with realistic design, allowing users to build their own metaverse. So our platform has several unique selling proposals, and we believe it has great potential to become the go-to platform for creating Web3 metaverse. So thank you for listening to my presentation on Metaverse, and I'm looking for the question that you have for me.
Awesome. Thank you, Henry from Vietnam, presenting Metaverse, a web-based metaverse builder, right? Make it short and sweet. So judges, feel free to ask questions, especially you're really in a space and curious about what's really happening. Please go ahead.
Hey, hi.
Henry, nice job. Or go ahead, AJ.
Sorry, thanks, Dave. Hi. Good one, Henry. I think great job. Good to see you've identified a problem statement, know how metaverses today are not sticky and there are not many active users in the Web3, and then you're looking at UGC content to be able to do that. I think good to see that you have thought through the different surfaces in which you can put this out, from Oculus VR headsets to the browser and mobile app in itself. So I had a few questions, maybe just if you can elaborate a bit. I know the time was less, but can you elaborate on the technical implementation of the screen sharing feature? I was a little confused on why would somebody need screen share in a virtual space, and what's the sticky use case for that?
So you want me to share the share screen feature? So
Take a note. You only have 3 minutes.
So let me send the link on the chat board and you can check it later. But it's a quick. I have some requests from my users that they want to host a virtual meeting, and that just like this meeting, but also people can go around, go in the table and talk with each other, and also want to share the screen and present something. So I think it's very cool to people from if we have that such screen feature. So I include it in our metaverse. Let's say if you can if you host an event and you can share the screen, you can present that our community has grown from 1 to 0 something. So I think it will be cool. Cool.
Got it. Have you heard of Mozilla Hubs?
Yes, I know about it.
Yeah, so this seems to be like Mozilla Hubs with an NFT integration, a couple of features, right? So any key differentiation apart from that?
The first one is we have this Web3 integration like you mentioned before, and the second one is on Mozilla Hub is mostly in the first person view, in the first person control. But we also have the avatar customization, and you can the avatar customization in Mozilla is quite simple. You just can choose a robot or something that's simple, but we want to, it's more realistic design. So we choose using Ready Play Me, and you can see you can customize the people in India.
Got it. Okay, thanks, Henry. I have 2 more questions, but I'll let other judges go, and then if time permits, I'll ask. Thank you so much.
Hey, Henry, real quick, how do you make money?
Okay, so in the business model, in the first time, I have the 3D model offering service, so I can make money from very starting beginning. Last, I can do the metaverse building for every community that's want it, and in the long time, I will build the software as a service and build a marketplace for other metaverse artists can create money on our platform. So it's clarified enough.
Yes, Josh, you want to do a quick one?
Hi, Henry. Thank you so much for that presentation. I love how you are focusing on increasing accessibility, which is obviously an incredibly important point. But how do you plan to encourage UGC content and reach your audience? How do you plan on actually reaching your audience?
So I want to come the Web3 aspect first. So people want to share the GIS collection, the NFT collection. So I want to build a minimum MVP version for it, only for showing their collection. I can do a lot of template for them, and I use it at very fast and encourage people to come into my place. And you just need to integrate, connect your wallet, and you can create a gallery of your NFT collection. And I think is one way I can create it. Secondly is a community. I can connect with the community and say, oh, let's build a community in the Web3 metaverse, and it's totally free. So I think that's 2 ways that I want to start with it.
Fantastic.
Very good answer. Thank you, Henry. So up next, we have Gata. So Gata, is an interoperable, verifiable credentials platform that uses blockchain to make data easily accessible to insurance companies and their customers. So we have Nestor from Chile.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can also see your screen. So you can start when
Great.
you're ready. We'll do countdown on our side.
Great, sorry. Hello, everyone. Good morning from Chile. Good afternoon and good night to everyone. My name is Nestor. I'm from Chile. We are Gaita, verified credentials for insurance company. Why? What's the problem today? Because for buy an insurance, renew an insurance, you need to validate data. So you have the issuer in the process, you have the owner, it's your data, you have the verifier, it's the insurance company, and you have a notary, a fourth part, a notary or centralized platform who validates your information. It's slow, it's bureaucratic, and sometimes it's very expensive. And sometimes because maybe it's not your data, it's your information, it's not your data, and there are a misuse of that data. So we are proposing use verified credentials. It's just another standard from Web3C consortiums. The idea is create schemas with your information, maybe your driver license, your passport, and more, and where you can share and receive that data and share with anyone. How it works? Gaita is a verified credential platform. It's a web platform where you receive, you can create the data with using Polygon ID as a blockchain, as a platform. You have an insurance company, for example. That company can create a verified credential with your data. You have an insurance of that type, etc. Deliver or send you that verified credential, and you can share that credentials with anyone. For example, with a travel agency, because I need, for example, to travel to Europe. That's the idea. That travel agency just validates that information using the blockchain, using zero knowledge proof, and verify the signer or the creator of that credential is the insurance company. It's not me, it's not my sister, it's not anyone more. It's simply because the credential can be created, shared, and revoked in a simple steps. The opportunity of data economy, it's Web3, is decentralization and data ownership. Again, it's about identity and integration of actors. Insurance, insurtechs, people, and programs can be part of that process, that system. That is an image of how it works. You have the issuer, other company, insurance company, the owner, you, and the verifier. That in the blockchain Polygon ID for send and verify the proof of the data. Why use verified credentials and Polygon? Low cost. It's a standard from Web3C and participation of many types of companies without notaries. It's secure and private. It's simple and scalable data, and the verification of credentials by company does not require show all the data of the people using zero knowledge proof. Our business model, it's the verifier needs to pay to the owner because the owner shared the information with the verifier. And that money it's shared with the issuer because as an incentive for the create credentials, and as a Gaita, una small commission for get and work more every day. The market size in the next 5 years, $70 billion is the amount of money in digital identity. It's a big market, and about insurance is an industry without many technology. It's behind other industries. That's why our focus. We have some competitors, notaries and centralized platform, also another blockchain killed. The difference why we are using a Polygon ID, it's because it's implement zero knowledge proof. That's the difference. We don't have your private data in a public blockchain. That's how it works. That we have a lower quality demo. Our focus at first was validate the market and working, for example, why us? Because we have more than 13 years of experience in many technologies. And also we are partners of the InsurTech Chamber in Argentina. So
unfortunately, time is up.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. You can continue your speech in the Q&A, but judges, please raise questions to Nestor. Feel free.
Hey, Nestor, great idea, great pitch, well done. Quick question for you. You mentioned how this will help disintermediate kind of the notaries. Can you talk a little bit about the size of that business today? Because presumably we're going to offer a better option than using notaries and using the current process.
Yes, for example, in Chile, in Latin America, not just Chile, when I need to buy an insurance for travel, it's a requisite. Sometimes we need to validate I am a single man. So it's ridiculous, but I need to validate with a notary I'm a single man. So that's the process. Here it's not digitalized, it's not digital. In Latin America, you have notaries without digital platform. Also, you have centralized platform, maybe with digital sign, but still is a more step in the process. Why not just if one company, for example, my company where I work, create a data for me, what is not just that is the proof of the data is valid. That's why it's our focus, and we believe there is a big market in that part.
Yep, and then Pravi, because let's make a bit short because we're gonna prolong a bit on the questions. Pravi will be next, and then next will be Lauren.
Sure.
We have time the Andre come up. You have time.
Hey, Nestor. So 2 quick questions. So one, have you vetted this idea with a real life use case? And also, when you are thinking about making money from the insurance companies, are you trying to also adapt to a market that might be more suitable as you scale this?
Yes, sure. We validate the market, this project with the InsurTech Chamber in Argentina. We have partners who they are interested in this platform, so for working insurance and InsurTech companies. And about the business model, maybe I don't understand well the question, but about the money, the verifier can be an insurance company or another kind of company. The important is the credential, the verified credential is about insurance. Maybe the driver license is about that.
Good. Next we have Lauren. Let's do a question.
That was great. You actually got me excited about insurance, so well done. I thought it was great. This is actually a sort of connected question is, do you have relationships or does your team have relationships in this bit of the industry? You mentioned you've got consulting experience, but I was thinking, will you know how to navigate insurance because it's this kind of big, slow beast?
Yeah. So we start first working with InsurTech because they have the partnership with insurance company. So instead of working right now with insurance because it's slow, it's very bureaucratic, we start with InsurTech in Argentina. So they have the partnership. So we start with them and later with them access to the big companies, not just in Argentina or in Latin America. Thank you.
Cool. That's a great answer. Good timing as well. Thanks a lot, Nestor.
Thank you.
If I may go a couple of minutes.
Sorry.
Can I ask one question?
Sure. Go ahead, AJ.
Okay. Nestor, thanks for this. Yeah, it's always exciting to see people building on Polygon ID. It's a very relevant use case. Is there a demo? I didn't see that. Have you built the product or is it just a concept right now?
We build a low quality demo using Postman. First, honestly, we prefer validate the market before we believe we build a web demo. A demo using the API, the Postman, but the web we are building right now.
Okay, got it. How do you solve the problem of people lying at source? That's one major problem here, right? So how do you ensure the accuracy and reliability of verifiable credentials shared in a platform? People can lie at source. So how do you prevent fraud and false data at the entry level? And how are these verified and validated in real life?
Honestly, we are thinking that first, we need to validate the issuer is not an account from a Gmail account. It's a professional account. Maybe it's a professional email. For understand who is that? Maybe it's not Nestor Campos. It's a big company creating that credential. That's the start, but we need to think more about that.
Yeah, please do think about it. I think it's a very, very important problem to be solved. But otherwise, I think a good solution. Last question: how will you ensure interoperability between different insurance companies and their systems, because each of them have their own systems? And have you thought of any standards or protocols, and how do you handle potential conflicts or discrepancies in data formats between the hundreds of issuers and users that you're talking about?
Yes.
Have you thought about it?
Sorry, I have problem with my internet. Sorry. I can hear you the last question.
Okay, what I meant is, how will you handle the discrepancy in multiple data formats the different insurance companies, issuers, and users might have?
Yes. The idea is in the platform, the issuers can create the schema, but we will have a standard schemas because sometimes driver license, passport, and others they are more common like others.
Okay, got it. Thanks, Nestor. Yeah, great stuff.
Awesome. Cool. Gata is really interesting solutions on the interoperability in the insurance scene. Love to see it happen one day in Polygon, right? So next up, we have MetaShop. MetaShop, the presenter Thomas from Argentina. The project is offering the service of creating an immersive VR space for the client's requests entirely from scratch. So Thomas.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Hi Jordan. My name is Thomas, and I am going to tell you about the MetaShop.
Would you also have like a slide to share?
Yes.
Cool. We're saying that. So please go ahead when you're ready. I'll do 5 minutes countdown on my side. This is yours.
At MetaShop, we are dedicated to creating virtual stores in the Metaverse with augmented reality and an immersive sensation. We make users spend more time shopping and thus increase your customer list. And as physical store owner in Argentina, I can say that creating a physical store in the real world can often be time-consuming and expensive, making it difficult for many entrepreneurs to reach their potential customers. That's why created MetaShop, a company in charge of creating, designing, and processing virtual stores in the Metaverse. Today, we have an MVP on our website where they can use it better. In an immersive and easy to use environment, we have found the solution to our problem: a virtual space where there is no expense for service such as water, electricity, etc., and in which users can see the merchandise and play with it, as well as being able to customize their skin with NFT and buy virtual pets to accompany them. Our business model is solid and scalable, since we have multiple services, such as the creation of the virtual store space for the client, a monthly subscription to see its performance within the virtual store, secure payments in cryptocurrency, and credit card, NFT and pets for users, amongst others. The Metaverse from 2021 to 2023 will generate $5 billion and not more than 500 million monthly activity users. Bueno, voy a mostrar un poco lo que es el shop de Vita, de MetaShop Store. Is a first person. The product is the store de producto de belleza. Y bueno, nada más que esto. No sé si estará Enzo por ahí.
Yes, sorry. I was request from the Startup Weekend team to help now to the team because they don't speak English. He don't speak English. So
okay, let me
I'm
cut in
trying to
real quickly
translate.
here. So,
yes, he finished the presentation. Sorry.
Okay, cool. So let me check with Thomas. I'm going to pause the whole presentation. Let me check with Thomas. Have you finished your presentation yet? Do you have any slides to share? Anything you want to add? Thomas?
Sí. La presentación básicamente está basada en lo que es el metaverso. Bueno, hice lo que es una plantilla 3D en donde se puede usar los ítems, se pueden comprar, pero solamente se puede desde la página secundaria, o sea, una página principal, digamos, de la empresa real.
See. So let me put a real quick pause here. Since Thomas is not well articulated with English, but he can really. So we have invited the previous team, Nesta, to help translate the following part of this pitch. So
yes.
It will be translating in between Spanish and also English back and forth. So yeah. So Thomas was one presenting, but Nesta will be the one translating the whole thing. So now I'll go back to the countdown.
Sí.
Could you do like a brief summary, Nesta, about what Thomas just mentioned?
Yes, he speak about he finished the presentation and explain about it's about that metaverse. Just is the demo. Just is the resume about he said before.
Awesome. So we jump to Q&A right now.
Yes.
Is it good for you? Okay, awesome. So judges, based on what you heard so far and the whole demo, please do Q&A.
I'll jump in quickly. Thomas, thank you so much for that. I think it's firstly incredible to present not in your first language, so absolute kudos to you. Obviously, the metaverse and platforms such as this and shops such as this are, it's a very saturated space. How do you plan to stand out from the crowd and really make MetaShop stand out from the rest of your competitors?
Yes. O sea, primero te felicitó por la presentación a pesar de no ser tu idioma nativo y te pregunta sobre cómo tú te vas a posicionar en base a otro metaverso, o sea, cómo tú vas a ser mejor que otros competidores.
Claro.
¿Dónde está tu posición?
Realmente nosotros tenemos una buena posición, nos diferenciamos porque mezclamos lo que es NFT, lo que es la blockchain, usamos todas las monedas, recibimos todo tipo de pago en efectivo, vamos a tener delivery. Hasta el día de hoy no hay un metaverso en el que se pueda comprar, así que eso es lo que nos diferenciaría de la competencia.
Okay, he speak about the differentiation with other competitors, other metaverse. They integrate the real world, with integrate cash payments, delivers of products, and integrate blockchain, and that's the resume. That's he speak.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Judges, questions, please.
Yeah, one quick question for me. Thanks again for your presentation, Thomas. Can you explain for me again one more time, what is the problem that we're trying to solve?
Sobre el problema, ¿cuál es el problema que está solucionando?
Yo tengo un local acá en Argentina, y mi principal problema fue cuando hice local, el tiempo que requería en armar el local, comprar la mercadería y todo eso, y la plata que requeriría hacer eso. Con esto lo que solucionamos es el tiempo, porque esto sería más rápido crear un metaverso ya con plantillas ya predispuestas, y el espacio. No pagarías renta, no pagarías servicios como luz, agua, y bueno, etcétera.
Okay. Yeah, he speak about he has a small store in Argentina. The problem is about the stock, buy the products, to build the stands, and pay the water, the lights, and more. So he simplified that using a metaverse with a lower cost and quick and faster process. That's the problem. The problem about physical stores.
Hey, quick question. I think, is it a product or a service? I see that in the slide that, so can users come and create their own stores, or do they have to place a request and you will create it for them?
Si los usuarios crean la plataforma o tú las creas por ellos en este sistema.
Claro, nosotros creamos las plataformas para los clientes y los usuarios usarían las plataformas de los clientes.
Sí, pero ¿quién crea el metaverso?
Nosotros.
Metashop. Metashop creates the metaverse for the customers.
Okay, thank you. Thanks.
I have a question related to that, which is how will you scale your business if it's fully customizable? Will there be parts of it that are repeatable and parts of it that you can customize?
¿Cómo es escalable esto, considerando también lo que acabas de mencionar de que se tiene que crear y cómo se escala?
Sí, nosotros lo que pensamos es escalarlo de manera global. Empezar, por ejemplo, con cadenas grandes, ofrecerle el servicio, no sé, McDonald's, por ejemplo, y hacer de McDonald's un Metashop, un metaverso único en el que puedan comprar los clientes y recibir su pedido directamente a su casa. Lo bueno de esto es que al ser inmersivo, los usuarios entran a una... es algo más como vicioso, digamos. Se pueden enganchar más con el contenido. Y bueno, básicamente es eso, la cantidad de usuarios que tiene el metaverso hoy día, y utilizar alguna empresa que sea referente en el mercado hoy en día.
Okay, he speak about create partnership with big companies. For example, he say McDonald's for create a custom metaverse for them and start with them before other big companies. But that's the resume how he speak about get more users, because with McDonald's many users building or attracted to the platform.
Thanks very much. And thanks, Nestor, for translating.
Cool. We'll see one or two more questions from judges because we prolonged a bit for this section. If no, thanks a lot for both of you. really the collaboration vibe about Web3 and how people build companies together, right? Especially thanks a lot for the really great job from the Nestor, helping other team, Thomas. Bien.
Muchas
Bueno.
gracias.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Awesome. Cool. I could remind me about like when I visited Startup Weekend in Paris and in Italy. I cannot speak like a dime of like that language. When I join Startup Weekend events, I usually have like really good integrated friend that help me translate the whole events. So that like vibe is only happening in Startup Weekend events I've really witnessed personally. So thanks a lot for that like collaboration. So up next we have Collective DAO. So Collective DAO is a non-custodial liquid staking protocol on Filecoin network. So we have Batch. His team is from UAE and also Serbia. Are you here?
Yeah. Hello, everybody.
Awesome. Do you have a slide to share?
Yep.
Awesome. We can see it, so I can start when you're ready.
Perfect. Hello, everybody. My name is Bach. I'm a co-founder at Collective DAO. We're building a Filecoin non-custodial liquid staking protocol. The biggest problem in Filecoin network is that initial pledge requirements limit the growth of the decentralized storage capacity, because Filecoin storage providers have to not only increase their storage capacity by running additional data centers, but they also have to provide a lot of collateral in the form of Filecoin. And Filecoin holders and early investors don't have native yield-bearing asset in the Filecoin ecosystem, and we provide them an opportunity to earn additional yields by staking their Filecoin into our liquid staking pool, which then will be given in the hands of miners that will use it as a form of collateral for their storage sectors. Let me show you a quick demo of our products. You can open our web app at app.collective.finance. After connecting your MetaMask, I'm running a Filecoin high-space testnet because our product is deployed on a testnet. Right now, I want to stake about 1 Filecoin, and in exchange, I will get about 1 collective field, which is our liquid staking derivative token. I can also unstake and swap if there is no liquidity for early redemption process. Later, once my transaction will be mined, you will see the differences in the balances here. Right now, I'm having about 113 collective Filecoins that are actually earning yield on the Filecoin network. For the storage providers, we provide them a seamless access to the required capital in order to recover their initial pledge requirements, so that they don't even need to go to the lending providers anymore. And they interact with the Collective liquid staking protocol by using Collective Golang SDK, which is a native extension of the Filecoin Lotus node, which is written in Golang. When it comes to our competition, we have a bunch of players on the centralized and decentralized fronts, but most of those players are providing lending products, which is could be effective in order to solve this problem. But as we are building a native liquid staking protocol, we can reach the maximum efficiency of the capital, because we don't have a fixed time periods for this capital to be distributed back to the official lenders. When it comes to our market, Filecoin market cap right now is $14 billion, fully diluted, even on the bear market. And we expect our market share to be about 1 billion, considering that the 30% of the market cap will be utilized in any form of staking or lending. We do have beta version on Filecoin testnet available now. On April, we plan to launch on mainnet. On June, we want to expand into storage sector management. And later this year, we would love to launch a DAO in order to distribute the governance of the protocol. Our team consists of 3 people with extensive background in its areas in our areas of expertise. Myself and Kirill, we are working on the engineering front, and we've previously co-founded companies that were building over-collateralized lending products in Ethereum and Solana ecosystems. We are raising about 250,000 as a part of our pre-seed round. Recently, we've won an ETH global hackathon, and now we are part of early builders on a Filecoin virtual machine. Thank you very much. You can visit our website at collective.finance, and we'd love you to follow our Twitter. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. That's really concise of the content and the time control. Cool. So we'll leave more time for the Q&A. So judges, you can unmute yourself and ask anything to the team.
Yep. Bach, nice job on the presentation. That was concise to the point. Actually, you're solving a real world problem, which I'm very familiar with. I'm actually turning up a storage provider right now in one of my organizations. So very familiar with what's going on with this. What I guess I'm not clear on with your business model itself is how do you make money? And ultimately, how do you fund some of the initial collateral, particularly around obtaining the fill for yourself to give to the I guess the storage providers to stake?
Yeah, for the first question, we were considering a LiDAR, simple LiDAR model by getting a success fee of about 10%. But once we realized that it's more long-term for us to be in a position of managing those sectors on behalf of the storage providers, it will generate much more revenue for us in a form of like fully network value, as it will establish our position as a native primitive on Filecoin network for the vertical integration with another DeFi protocols.
Okay, and is that revenue then in the terms of appreciating price?
In Filecoin price?
Yes.
Yeah, the problem is that with low Filecoin price, not a lot of the storage providers are expanding their storage capacity right now. So it's not a good timing right now to sort of expand in a petabyte or exabyte scale at this moment. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Andre, you are.
Hey, Bach, great to meet you. Congrats on a great presentation. One question I had for you was around validating kind of the opportunity. Can you talk a little bit about the process that you went through to validate, with users, with customers, what you're trying to solve here?
Yeah. Also, by answering my a previous question, before CollectiveDAO, I used to be a co-founder at the company in which we were focusing on an institutional side of the Filecoin mining. We've covered about 80% of the storage providers in Filecoin network. And we realized that both Protocol Labs, Filecoin Foundation have a very high interest in providing the initial capital to come to give them to the miners via a good effective middleman and counterparty, and the storage providers have been borrowing before from companies like Picnic and CoinList, but as the price of the Filecoin goes up as we expect, we cannot see a lot of the expansion. So in terms of liquidity, it's mostly Protocol Labs engineer team who have been invested, plus Protocol Labs, its treasury and a treasury of Filecoin Foundation, early investors, plus big storage providers. And yeah, it's the community is fairly open, so we can easily engage with those miners.
Got it. Josh?
Cool. Thank you so much for that incredibly concise presentation. My question is more about staking as a service and the upcoming regulatory changes that are kind of happening in our space. Are you preparing in any way, or have you thought about how to prepare this platform for what may come? And what's your view?
Yeah. As I believe most of the regulation applied to the money transmissive businesses in the staking process. Comparing to any of those products on the technical side of things, it's implemented in a way so that the Filecoin, if Protocol Labs itself invents a staking service, it will be this exact design, so that there is no any like counterparty or centralized risk at any point of time. And in this case, even if like any party lose control of the staking protocol, it will be run forever as long as those smart contracts are being used. Thank you.
Great, thank you for your answer.
Got it, got it. I think that's time's up for this team. Good job in presenting Collective DAO.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks. And next we have Team 5, PMI. PMI is an NFT marketplace that allows digital art designers to market and sell their co-make creations with prospective consumers. So we have Josie from Hong Kong.
Yeah,
I think you're
hi.
online. Cool.
Yes.
So we also see on the screen.
Yes.
When you're ready, you can start with the countdown on your side. Please go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. My name is Joseph Kwong. I'm from Hong Kong. I'm the only one members for this project. Today I present the NFT using NFT for the visual commerce marketplace. What the service we offer actually, because of the when you look at this project, we look at the revenue first. And basically, we offer that to solve the problem, to let the art director, designer, or sole creator to market and sell their canvas, even though they are traditional market right now, and also allow the consumer to export, buy, and trade the canvas through our marketplace. In addition, we think this tool only marketplace is not enough, so we need to bring in additional free services. One is to enter the white label platform as service to enterprise in this industry, as well as to help the director or enterprise through our digital marketing services to drive the revenue and make the branding. When the canvas is good, everything, then we think about the other innovative. Is about 3D printing service and let the visual canvas turn into a fashion. What are markets? Based on the the public information, those are the country is most active in visual commerce. As I said, revenue model, we are a bit of innovative. Except the first one or second one, we put 3, 4, 5 in order to drive the revenue to make the business sound and cash flow, as well as to bring everybody to see this is a good model to drive from the traditional into the Web3 business. Okay, what's the feature? Feature very simple. We basically have this export NFT, list NFT, and their own NFT. In order that they search, buy, and we sell. This is our platform. We're using the Visual Code, JavaScript, and Polygon as a trial here. There's a screen. I will demo that in a later time. We can search a price. We can buy that. They cannot buy their own. They know what how many they list. You can see the details. This is what they purchase, their own. They get resell. And then from the beginning, they get upload and connect the wallet. After that, they can check that on the Polygon scan, see the transaction. At the end, not the end, because this is the first one. The project is looking for what? Looking for to build the virtual cross-connect gateway and exchange services to all the household, no matter their banded or unbanded environment. So once this first, they will be looking into extend our services into entity certificate, the communication, entity finance, as well as the very fundamental, because everybody need food and drink. So in here, we will transform from the remote farmers to the modern trader, as well as the retail, or the restaurant and cafe. That's our next step. Now I give you the about the market size. This is the market size. We target to work on that. 12 billions. Agriculture, food and business, that's talking about 20 billions. Embedded, the financial services, talking about 7-8 billions. What about the second hand? As you can see, anti-certificate, basically the target is second-hand e-commerce. And that is the market size, over 100 billion. Here is our platform. I host it in my computer.
All right, Joseph, I think we'll kind of let the time for demo later on if we have time.
Okay.
Let's go to the Q&A. We have 3 minutes. So let's have Lauren to kickstart.
Hi, Joseph. Thank you for that. And also thank you for explaining how you'll monetize, because not everybody's mentioned how their business will make money. I thought it was great. There was one thing I didn't entirely understand is this describing as visual comics. If you see that as separate from kind of NFT art, like digital art that exists out there at the moment, that might just be like a naming thing, but I'd love to hear what you mean. And the other thing is, because the NFT and sort of digital art market changes so quickly, it feels like it sort of flip-flops, and you know it's very like opinionated and hypey. So how will your platform keep up?
You mean the platform, how to keep it up for that?
So firstly, just the visual comics name, and secondly, I think maybe it was also because some of the visuals you're using is making me think, will this date quickly? Like, will people think this is for only a certain sort of NFT art? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. That's different actually. In right now, the NFT, they can build by graphic using the new things. But as you know, in the industry right now, there's a visual comics. Okay, traditionally you can find that you can on the online store, they build that by their own to painting, actually write down, okay, draw that using the paper and create a book, a story, right? Storytelling book, right? Visual, the comics. This is the market I'm looking for, that to help them to transform from the traditional to the Web3 in the way that to let them to enter to another universal. In addition, I would like to get them to more marketing driven, because in the storytelling, the visual commerce right now, it's just only a small circle. So this is opportunity, is a bigger market instead of just stay in that right now.
That's great, thank you.
Yes, I would say it's the overall, the concept is to serve the people, okay, and let them the life, with happiness, to also to make the world green, and also help the poor become rich. Because on that, you can enter to serve the unbanked, in between bank. People make this interconnection, exchange idea with financially ideas through the Web3 technology.
Right. Let's see. We may have 1 or 2 more questions after Lauren. I think Josh, your turn. And Pradeep will be the next one.
Hi, Joseph. Thank you so much for that presentation and really interesting idea. I have a background in art, and I'd love to know, have you spoken to, obviously it's an NFT marketplace, but what kind of creators have you spoken to about this idea so far? And what have they said about your idea? You know, would they want to come and create a comic? Have you spoken to people on the ground who might be using your marketplace?
Actually, I did some research in Hong Kong about the visual commerce. They are very interesting because of right now they are just only through the traditional channel, through the distributor, publisher, or maybe through exhibition. It's very limited. First, only on local market. What I'm doing is trying to build a global market, and they build something globalization, the business. Put the local, go globalization. In addition, we help them to market because of when you see the Web3, it doesn't have the digital marketing, right? This only put the this is a good technology, this good platform. It doesn't help because like e-commerce, like you're talking about Shopify, they have a good digital marketing. So make the platform great. You have the great technology, you need to have the front arm to push the market in order to realize the beauty of the technology, as well as to bring in the shareholder investor value. Then the business and the platform will be bigger and bigger. This is the concept to doing that. Because I came from traditional business.
Yeah. The time is pretty limited right here. I'd love to really quick answer to the next question from Pravi.
Hey, just quick. So what's the audience? So you mentioned white labeling the service. So is the audience the end users or the partners that you're selling
to? Both.
Oh.
Both. Because you can see, I also entertain the enterprise as well. For this the industry, for this the business. Customer, target audience, consumer, creator, enterprise.
Thank you.
All three together.
All right, thanks a lot, Joseph from PMI. Interesting concept in creating a new NFT marketplace. There's definitely a lot more room to actually create some solutions to consumers to make different industries really accessible to the Web3 world, and marketplace is one of them, the solutions, right? So good, we have already 5 teams pitch. We are halfway through. We have 5 more to go. Why don't we, for judges, for the audience and the upcoming teams, we can do like stretching of our body to get ready for next 5 teams. Let's do a bit stretching. Take a rest. Cool. And then we'll have the next team, 18 next to you.
All right, thank you, Keith. So up to the next 5 teams. So the first up next will be Dow Venture Capital. So we have Gabriel from Brazil, Mexico, a team that forms strategic partnerships and fundraisers for startups in a decentralized manner. So Gabriel, if you're ready,
yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
Hi everyone, be welcome to Dow Venture Capital. I'm Gabriel Seixo, the co-founder, and that's Anselmo, our other co-founder. Probably many of you guys already face the problem of not knowing how to raise funds or not having the strategic partners. And maybe sometimes can be hard to invest in good projects if you don't know them. So the problem that we are attempting to solve is about startups receiving investments and forming strategic partnerships. While doing so, we do it make democratic and accessible to people who want to invest in projects but lack the necessary funds or knowledge to do it. The market size of Web3 is predicted to reach a high of more than $100 billion by the year of 2033. About the venture capitals, the market is going to probably reach the mark of more than $1,000 billion by the year of 2031. About the market research that we did with startups, 33% of them are female, 83% of them have 1 to 4 employees, They're all mixed age scenarios, and 67 are looking for 250K US dollars, and they would give 5 to 8% of equity from their companies. And 100% are interested on getting funds and make part of a DAO venture capital. About investors, 75% prefer to investment with high fees and high return. 87% are aged from 25 to 31 years old, and 37% distribute 5% to risk investments. And 75% prefer to choose the projects and invest with the other contributors. So they are willing to participate in a DAO venture model capital. About our business model is consisted in three main steps. We're gonna have our DAO governance token, which which will enable the DAO contributors to select which projects we are gonna fund. After it, we're gonna fundraise the selected projects that are gonna be able to be invested for DAO members and also for outsiders. Our equity is going to be distributed with the project tokens that we're going to be investing in. So we're going to have the equity of 5% of the tokenomics from the projects. That's our tokenomic supply of 1 billion tokens, and this is how it's divided. And that's our roadmap. So right now we are at the SW Global Deck pitch. After it, we're going to do the marketing attraction to grow up our community to attract investors and startups. After it, we're going to launch our governance token. And then with the project selected, we're going to open then for investments with the launching of our platform. So if you want to see what we are building, I'm going to share with you guys. So that's our demo. Is it appearing for you?
Yep. Yes.
Cool. So the MetaMask is connected here. And to start using the platform, you need to contribute. So to become a DAO member, after you have contributed, you can propose a new project to get into the platform. So we have a model here that it's going to be proposed. And we can have a description of the project that is going to be voted. And that's done. So now the proposal is submitted and the DAO community can select the project if it's going to be funded or not. Here we also have the link to check a little bit more about the market research that we did. And what are we seeking for? We are seeking for guidance about VC, the venture capital standards, also about legal and compliance and strategic support. We are willing to give 5% of our tokenomics for the strategic investment. So now I have the question. Who want to decentralize the world of investments? Venture with DAO venture capital. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Gabriel. So now we'll head on to proceed to judges Q&A. Yeah, any of the judges would like to start?
Yep, I'll go. Thank you so much for a great presentation. What sector and what kind of companies would this centralized VC want to invest in? What would you be looking for?
So we had some interesting startups that are looking for fundraise. We had about environment, also education, and they were the main ones about education and environment.
With to do with technology or just across the full sectors of
using the technology provided with the DAO venture capital, but these companies are from environment companies and also educational companies.
Great, thank you.
Hey, thanks for the presentation. Just had a quick question. There are existing DAO treasuries, right? Like BitDAO, Mental, etc. So what's unique here compared to those DAO treasuries who anyways today invest in projects?
I would say that is about having a first a venture capital that's gonna give our backup support, because sometimes you get fundraised by venture capitals, but the main thing is about having the strategic partners. So we also want to give this strategic support from our venture capital, that we can like hire, for example, specialists to give the support from the invested companies.
Okay, got it. And decentralized VC is it's yeah, hard for me to imagine also. I mean, the VC money is money at the end of the day, right? So have you vetted this concept? And when you say you've spoken to investors, uh, and also founders, right? Have you not found this to be completely slowing down the entire fundraise process, because there is so many processes to be taken care of? How do you identify the right project? You get the governance there, and you need to get consensus. This slows down the process for a founder, isn't it?
Yeah, so uh, there would it's possible to have two different kind of pathways. One is to give the DAO contributors the power to vote and decide which projects we're going to be funding, or the DAO contributors can hire which is going to be our strategic team to decide which companies we're going to be investing in.
And how do you ensure transparency once the investment is made on where the investment is going?
Using the due diligence, showing the documents and everything that we researched about the company.
Okay, no, so your platform would not include all of that then.
We also want to share about everything that we did about due diligence of the companies.
Okay, thanks, Gabriel.
Thank you.
Oh, Gabriel, nice job. Oh, go ahead, Andrew.
Thanks. Just a quick question. Obviously the world of venture capital is well established, and it's obviously has its flaws. But one thing that it does quite well is sort of surface quality projects and ideas and entrepreneurs. How have you thought about your marketplace, helping create a clearer path to the higher quality projects and the higher quality entrepreneurs that are fundraising?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we have two possibilities. So the DAO members can help with this due diligence process, or we can hire a strategic team to help the DAO with this. So there are two possibilities. We can hire a team to do this due diligence, or we can have our DAO members doing it. The special thing is about to make it more accessible to people who also want to get inside into a venture capital, because they can do this with like small amount of money, and they can be integrated with the Web3 world.
Okay, we have one last question from Dean. Yeah.
Yeah, my question was Andre's deal flow. Like, how do you get deal flow? How do you get high quality deals? Where do those come from? Kind of how do you differentiate in that? Because that market is very saturated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we have we're also looking for a strategic partner to give this support about the VC standards that we probably are going to need to use during the diligence process and everything. And this is going to be very important for us. But the thing is about, or we can provide these standards for our DAO members to look for, or we can have our strategic team doing this diligence and everything more close to the companies that we're investing in.
Got it. Thanks, Gabriel.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gabriel. So yeah, that's the end for the judges Q&A. So up next, I'm going to invite the next team, Entropy Labs, Ishika from India. So Entropy Labs is an all-in-one platform that gamifies adoption of geotech utility, NFTs, and hosts a secondary marketplace from which NFTs can be bought and sold. So Ishika, if you're ready, yeah, you may begin.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm just going to share my screen. Yeah. Hope you can view it. Yeah.
Yep, we can.
Yeah. Cool. Hi. Good evening from India. I'm going to present to you the platform that we've made. It's called Stamps. It's made by Entropy Labs. So Entropy Labs is a lab that me and my co-founder who's also here with me, Ayush, started experimenting with a lot of Web3 products and use cases, and to find the product that we eventually want to make full time. Since the start, I think once we started doing our research and getting to know the market, we really wanted to solve this one problem, which is how to bring Web2 brands into Web3. So after doing some research around it, we got to know that things like marketing and loyalty programs is something, and utility NFTs is something that Web2 brands use to get into Web3. But the problem here was that there was still one problem that was not being solved as to how do we enable mass adoption of these utility NFTs. So we did some concepts, and one thing that was always tough was the entry point for users was one, and how there was a less of tech feasibility and also usability in terms of the concepts that we had generated. So with this stamps, our main idea was to just make the idea of utility NFTs, to own them, and to have fun with it in a little more abstract manner, and to make it a little more fun for the user, because eventually the user cares more about the experience that they're having and not the tech that is built behind it. So the less we keep them in the the more they have fun is the more success the product also has. So we'll try to I'll try to show you how we've implemented these three concepts in the product too. So this is our solution, which is stamps. It's a unique unified passport which you collect. We've changed your wallet to passport, and utility NFTs to stamps. So you solve hunts that are prepared by brands on the platform. Each hunt will have different clues that you'll have to solve to get to a unique geotagged NFT at unique locations all over the world. And since you own these utility NFTs, you can also sell them in the secondary marketplace, which people can buy and place a bid on. I'm just gonna start the demo here. So first you sign in. Flow allows us to have very smooth onboarding experience also. That's what we've used here. So now I'll go and look at my profile too, and how my wallet has been made. Eventually, we want to make this even more simpler for the user, and also keep them in a little more know of what actions they're performing on the platform. So let's see how they collect NFT, for example. So this is a hunt where it's at Disneyland Park in Paris, and they're basically finding looking for free merch if they in the end are able to find the NFT that has been placed in the park. So this was the first clue that they go for. And the second clue, which might take them to the last final location of where the utility NFT might be located. This has to be done in real life, walk around in the real world to actually, get utilities and benefits in the virtual world. So now that I've found my NFT, we can go view the passport that I have. So all of my NFTs will be in a passport, which would be my wallet. I can also, like you see, sell this. Now, if someone comes to collect one of these NFTs, they can place a bid. And for example, if I have utilized one, utility of it, the person who's taking the NFT can utilize the next, and also this the revenue generated from it goes to the brand too, which is something new, because they get a chance to make secondary sales of selling their NFTs too. So this was the walkthrough of the product. Now, yeah, the product is a B2B to C product where we'll have to have more and more brands on board to get more and more users on board. They can, the more they customize, have more customizations, the more they have to pay for the service. This is our team. It's me. I'm a product designer, and Ayush is a developer. The multifaceted team has always been a little more, focused towards consumer-facing apps, and which is what we specialize into. So I think this would be something that we would want to work on too. We've created, like I said, we've created some concepts around utility, NFTs, loyalty programs, and just marketing, campaigns for brands a lot. And I think this worked the best because it is something that would be ready to go to the market in terms of tech and in terms of usability. So that's why we would think that Roar is Stamps is something that would work.
Sorry,
We
5 minutes
Time.
up, but
Okay.
you can continue to clarify during your Q&A.
Yeah.
So we'll now proceed to judges Q&A. If anyone would like to start first.
Yeah, I'll jump in if that's all right. Hi, thank you so much for a really, really great presentation. And I love the concept. Anything geotagging is right up my street. I'd love to know, how do you plan, have you thought about location spoofing and how you plan to overcome that?
Yeah, so right now we were more focused about getting the concept in place, but yeah, geo spoofing is something we need to deal with. Even Pokemon Go faced that issue, but one way we are looking to solve it is creating an experience so that the geotagged NFTs is just a small part of the hunt, but there are subsequent steps that take place in real. For example, you might scan a QR code in the next step that is in the place where the NFT is tagged.
I see. So it's a lot more focused kind of in-app, the experience for the user and the kind of challenges that you can do in-app rather than the focusing too much on the geotagging and in real world AR side.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Had another question. Well done on the presentation, Ishika and team. How big do you think this market is? Have you attempted to quantify the size of the opportunity?
Yeah, actually, we did have some numbers in our pitch deck, and turns out that loyalty programs is a big market, at least in North America, which would also be one of the target audience that we would want to look at. And yeah, I think I don't exactly remember the number attached to it, but there are several studies that show how brands are looking to invest in new technology as the percentage of how people are how loyal users are to their brands has relatively decreased a lot, at least since COVID, because the consumer pattern has also changed a bit. The investments are like brands want to invest in new technologies for their loyalty programs.
Hey, great presentation. Reminded me of the Starbucks Odyssey program. I think
yeah,
I'm assuming inspired by that. Couple of questions. I think it's a very interesting space, the geotagged utility NFTs, right? So what, according to you, is the vision for the future of geotagged utility NFTs, and how do you see your platform evolving to support this vision?
I think slowly we are in a process to actually craft the vision for it, but I think slowly we want to get more and more brands, more and more consumer markets in it, and get a little more in the social aspect of it also. Like, okay, if just one person is playing it, what if a lot of people can play it together? Brands can have custom hunts, and what if there are specific locations that would be the unique locations that we're saying. People, creators can own these locations, and the consumers can I don't know, like, I think a lot of actors can come into the picture, I would say, to sum it up, which can make this a little very dynamic and very customizable for anyone who wants to get into the space, and what is something that we also would want to focus on our business facing app. So I think, yeah, like, to sum it up,
what's your strategy there? I mean, it's hard, right? You need to onboard buyers, sellers, both your NFT marketplace. What's your strategy to onboard both of them? How do you plan to build liquidity in volume? And in specific, if you can touch upon your revenue model.
Okay, Ayush, do you want to answer that?
So right now we sell it to the brands and we are reliant on them getting a lot of their users. And those users in turn can see other hunts on the platform by other brands. But one more thing that I would like to add is we would also target a lot of these events happening, like concerts, F1 races, or even say the football World Cup, right? So a lot of sports want to have these new in-stadium experiences. That's some where geotagged utility NFTs also fit in. And again, secondary sales is a really important revenue model for us and for the brands as well.
So you will make your revenue from the NFT sales of the brand, or would you charge an onboarding fee or something for the brands? What
So
would be
we
your
charge the brand.
Yeah, we charge the brand. Yeah.
Thanks.
Maybe you have one last question from Lauren.
Thank you. I thought that was brilliant. I can really see the use case for it. And actually, when I do a lot of talks of like telling brands what are NFTs, etc., and trying to explain the use case, and actually something like this really feels like it would solve it or like make sense of it for people quite quickly. So I really like that. My question was around how you would get brands to keep working with you. So a friend runs an AR startup that has sort of geotagged AR music content, and they have been successfully running, but now struggling to get repeat business. So like you managed to sell it in one big idea to this brand, and the innovation team, for example, how do you get them to come and do another campaign with you, or sort of come and do another stamp with you? Why would they do that?
That's actually, thank you for that question, because I think that gets me a little thinking about it too. And I think, to be very honest, I think we'll have to figure it out from my side, how we get them to come back to the platform.
Okay, that's fair. Thanks.
All right, then time's up for judges Q&A. Thank you, Shika. So up next, I'm gonna have the next team, Demori. We have Shao from Vietnam. So Demori is a home sharing booking platform that combines the greatest features of current booking websites, with the advances of decentralized tech and tokenized incentive structure. Yeah. So Shao, if you're ready, yeah, we may begin.
Hi everyone, this is Chao from Deliberation. So I'm gonna start with the opportunity we see in the tourism market. So the pandemic was a reminder that tourism plays a huge role in the economy. So before the pandemic, it took more than 9% in Vietnam GDP and more than 10% in global GDP in 2019. And it expected to recover to that level before the pandemic by 2023, with the full international tourism recovery by 2025 or beyond. So we see an opportunity for technology to take place to make this industry more sustainable. And blockchain is a new way to attract users faster and cheaper, especially the young people who are the travel demographic group. So we also think that is a huge advantage to be the first mover of homestay Web3 booking platform, at least in Vietnam and Southeast Asia. So with further research and in-depth interview with the difficulty of the Web2 blockchain, with the Web2 homestay user. So we figure out that the user pay a very high commission fee from 15 to 30%. So they don't receive or receive very little reward for their contribution toward the platform. They also lack a voice in influencing how the platform will develop in the future. And the guests cannot trust the majority of the review. And they cannot exchange the reward, and there's no such secondary market for the booking. So that where we see Web3 can have with the new technology, the blockchain, to make the price lower and the tokenization for reward and the transparent pricing, and also increase liquidity. So with Demori, we commit to work for the benefit of our user with the competitive pricing and become the first Web3 platform in Vietnam and Southeast Asia to connect the local hosts and guests to book homestay directly and then receive the reward. So with this, we charge 5% of commission fee per booking as our business model. So as you can see in the picture, there's a demo graphic, and we also have the demo video here. So this is our platform that you can add your home And at the picture of your home, represent your theme, connect with your MetaMask. And then you can also edit the home. One of the very special thing about our platform is that you can choose a theme different with other platforms that you can really attract the right people. You can also remove the rental without losing any fee and choose the theme and book the place. So our target user are the value-aligned people who will love local experience, support the sustainable tourism, and also the huge community of the cryptocurrency and blockchain enthusiasts. So our next couple of months, we hope to accomplish the tokenization and also launch the project. And within 3 months, we're very proud that we have formed a wonderful team. Here, my Vietnamese fellow, here, Can Vũ. So we are all from a very small city, but with beautiful culture and the central part of Vietnam. So we really hope that we can support and make a difference in our local community so that our people will not be left behind this blockchain evolution. So thank you very much for listening. And if you have any question, please feel free to ask. And please join us on our Discord because we just established it very soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Dimari, for a concise speech. I think we have more time for judges Q&A. Yeah, if any of the judges would like to start.
Ciao, nice job. I wish I could click through and do that fast in normal life. That'd be amazing. So, but great work. I guess first question for you on this, is there Web2 companies that are in this existing space today that are delivering this? You talked about that a couple of times. Is there like a specific competitor that you're going after that's already doing this today?
So for today, we have Airbnb, very popular platform for the Web2. Even it has several problems, but I think the most important difference between our platform is that the pricing, they charge like 15 to 30% of the commission fee. So it's very high. And with our platform, we only charge 5%, and we aim to charge even less than that for our user. And with the competitors with the Web3, I guess there are several startups doing the same thing, but I don't see there's a big name in this home sharing platform, so that we still have like the place.
Got it. Okay, so what is your go-to-market strategy then? I guess this is one of those platforms where there's massive network effects, both on buyers and sellers, right? And so you need a way to keep it off. What's your thoughts in and around that?
Sure. So with our target users, so we have the local host. We are targeting our local community in our city and also Vietnam, and also later Southeast Asia with the local home who are sharing the local experience with the guests. And then that is a local community of hosts that we are building here from our competitive advantage. And then we are participating in so many hackathon, and also want to join more opportunity like this so that we can share our idea and share this platform with the user from abroad, so that you can also support us by joining our Discord and also in the future using our platform.
Thank you.
I'll jump in if that's all right. Great work and just really engaging. I love the idea, and I love to see the evolution from how you've taken Web2 and actually taken something that's very prevalent and evolved it into something that's much more useful than Web3. But I'd like to know, how do you plan, obviously, you know, the Airbnbs of this world, there are people that put up fraudulent properties or properties that, you know, don't exist. How do you plan on overcoming that with Dimari?
Okay, am I understanding how we gonna overcome the challenge of the current Web2 platform?
So more about so like fraudulent properties. So just say I was a renter. I had a rental house that I wanted to put onto the platform and rent out to other users. How would I make sure that that property actually exists before, because obviously the verification process to make sure those properties exist are quite important in the Web2 versions of rental platforms.
So I think that is also one of the more beautiful thing about the transparency of pricing and the smart contract gonna have with this, so that they're gonna see, the user gonna see the period transition of the home, so that they can know this home is exit, so that they can book. So it increases trust from the people. And just for more information, so we love Nano so much. And we are huge fan of Nano. So I know Nano like 2 years ago, and we already using that. And it's have us like, we don't need to charge any fees.
I love to hear this. This is fantastic. We'll definitely get hold of me after this, because I'd love to discuss further.
That is our goal, that our home country, our hometown, our local community also benefit from that kind of thing that we always see in Nano.
Lovely. And I love that you're looking to technologies that 100% goes to the end user. There's no middlemen involved, and that's what we're all about. So awesome. Thank you for your answer. Really great to hear.
Go ahead.
Okay. Very interesting concept. I think I'm curious to know, when you said, you offer 5% or lesser rates than Airbnb, what is your model there, right? What makes you offer a cheaper rate? I understand the part that you can pay in crypto, you use, blockchain for transparent data tracking, but what else, right? I think what else is Web3 here? Because all the users care about is a good place to stay and good value from the platform. And if you're telling that, you're able to offer a lesser price, you spoke about token incentivization. Can you explain to me what do you exactly mean by that, and is that why you're able to offer a lesser price?
So with the first question about the price for 5%, so we think about it a lot, because with the aim of Web3 is to have 0 fee from the guest and then the host. So that is our aim, to make the platform to be free for everyone to connect directly. But at the very first phase and period of time to do that, we still need some funding to run the project. So we try to get the 5%, so that we can run our project until the time that our tokenization can be launched and get more funding, and then the liquidity from our project is high, so that we can just get it for free for everyone.
Okay.
And with the second question on the tokenization, we are still on the process of research and preparing for that. And we really hope that in the next couple of months, we're going to complete the tokenomics and tokenization, so that we can launch the project.
Interesting. All the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, AJ. So time starts up. So thank you so much, Shao. We have the next team up on stage. So we have Duraverse, Abhishek from India. So Duraverse integrates a gaming platform on the Metaverse, boasting VR, AR experiences with a marketplace that hosts NFTs and other game assets. Yeah. So Abhishek, if you're ready, you may begin. Yeah. Sorry, Abhishek, you're muted. Yeah. So we can restart again. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you everyone. Welcome to Duraverse. Thank you, judges, for staying up for so long. I'll try to make it more fun, because that's what we are looking at. So Duraverse is a play, earn, and conserve model of Web3 gaming. It is a metaverse for a sustainable world. Yep. So Metaverse is the extension of the real world. That is what a lot of us believe. And we at Duraverse, we are leveraging it to provide unparalleled experience in a virtual world, while taking measurable actions for conservation in the real world. It's it's one of the fastest growing industries, Metaverse, and it's expected to be $1 trillion economy within a decade, and we are a part of it. So, but at the same time, this although it's a very big industry, it has got its own share of problems, and people who are into Web3 gaming, they're well aware of them, whether it be gamers' sentiments or the problem in playing Web3 games or the problem in deploying Web3 games or the unsustainable economics and the environmental concerns that are going to rise up as we get more involved and immersed into the virtual environments. So all these problems exist, and that makes a lot of people against the ideas of NFTs and crypto and a lot of things. So, but we are here to tackle them, and we believe that we can find a solution. So the question comes, how do we revolutionize it? How do we change it? So the first thing that we are focusing on is fun, is that we want to make fun games with a wide range of games that can appeal to different sectors of people, different age groups. And the second thing is our commitment to sustainability, because we are really in for conservation and sustainability. The third thing is well-researched and solid economics. So that is something we have been working on, so that the economics is not lopsided, it's a balanced economics, and people who are contributing, the community members, the gamers, they get benefited as per their efforts. And finally, it's the DAO, giving the power to the community, giving power to the gamers, to people who work in the community. So enter Zura Park. This is what something we are building. It's it's alpha right now. It's an open world metaverse island. It will have multiple land passes, and the inspiration has been taken from nature mainly. A lot of elements from different endangered species and tribes of the world would be incorporated in the Zura Park. It will also host a lot of different games and experiences that would include a battle royale arena, stadiums for fast food, esports, something that we can look forward to host events, stage areas. There's a endangered animals museum that we are working on. It's called Konzura Museum. Then VR experiences, which are not only entertaining but educating as well. And the carnival area, which is where you go to have fun. You can sit on a lot of fun rides, and you can shop from sustainable brands there. This is the marketplace which we are building, and it would be the house of all the NFT and as well as non-NFT assets from the Zuraverse ecosystem. And it will have not just our NFTs, but the NFTs of our partner brands as well. When we come to the revenue model, the major share would be driven by the NFTs, which are into a wide variety of categories, and all of them are utility NFTs, which give a lot of power to the community members and the players. The second thing would be the revenue coming from the metaverse that would come in form of the tournament fee or the events that would be happening in the metaverse, advertisements, billboard displays and stuff. And the third channel would be from the multi-vendor marketplace that will have revenue sharing from our partners, as well as different sorts of fees that would be coming in from the users. This is Konzura DAO. That is something we're really proud to be working on. It's a not-for-profit that will work. It's a Web3 not-for-profit that would work entirely towards conservation. So we are creating quests and rewards for the community members that would get involved in the IRL real world activities for conservation, different drives that we are planning, as well as it would raise
Hi,
chat.
Vishnesh. I'm sorry to cut you, but your 5 minutes is up. But yeah, we continue during the Q&A session.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we'll proceed to the judges Q&A. If any of the judges would like to begin, yeah.
I can jump in. Thank you so much for a great presentation. I love that you have such sustainability and green focus to what you've created. My first question is, what's your kind of go-to-market strategy to try and get those first partners? Why would they want to work with you over anyone else in such a saturated space?
Partners, when you mean like users or the partners, as in brands?
Your brands and partners, yeah, that's what I'm focusing on.
Yes, because we'd be giving them advantages over other brands. So we are giving, till now, we are onboarding sustainable brands for free. We are not charging them anything. But of course, brands which are lesser sustainable would be having higher prices to get onboarded on the platform.
And how are you judging the sustainability of the companies and partners, brands that you're bringing on?
So yeah, it will be a process. Like we would see how much they are contributing to the environment and what processes they're adopting in their product and services. So yeah, based on these certain parameters, we are onboarding them.
Great. And I just got one last question, if that's all right. Have you spoken to or come across other companies that are working in conservation when it comes to kind of NFTs and conservation itself? How do you perceive the ownership of land and the conservation kind of purpose? How does that work for you guys then? So how do you stop, for instance, this piece of land that, you know, is being conserved? How do you stop that hasn't been already kind of purchased and conserved by someone else?
Till now, we are not dealing with real world land, but of course, we're just dealing with the Metaverse land. And even on that, we are planning to build a sustainable ecosystem. So the games would be like, you know, you can build a sustainable ecosystem on a virtual land that you would be purchasing in the Metaverse.
I see. Great. Thank you for your answers.
Thanks.
Hey, Sagar, so apart from curating content and picking the brands, are there any value-added features that you're thinking in your verse that would distinguish you from others?
Yes, for us, the narrative and the gameplay, it itself it creates a lot of difference, because we want to create an educational experience in a fun way so that it comes out as a game, as an entertaining experience, but at the same time, people would love to play those. People would be learning a lot from these things. So we are researching a lot on endangered animals. We are creating an encyclopedia for that. And also it is integrated in the whole ecosystem in terms of design, I would say. So
good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sagar, hi. You seem to be doing a lot of things there. I think I could see Metaverse, NFT, DAO, and games, and everything that probably I could think of, you know, encompassed in one platform. I have two questions. One is I want to hear if you have any unique strategy for go-to-market. You know, it's just going to be a matter of how quickly are you able to onboard number of users, what's the quantity, and are you able to retain them, right? So is there a specific differentiated strategy? Because I think taking over from what George said as well, it's a very crowded space. So how do you plan to differentiate yourself from a GTM strategy? Why don't you answer that? I'll have my follow-up question after that.
Thanks, Ajay. That's a very good question. Actually, we had it's something that got us into a spin, and so it got us thinking. And then we decided to acquire people from different platforms. So now we are also making some mobile games, and that are creating more engagement for people, and launching small games into different platforms. For getting more user engaged, acquiring more users, and eventually we are going to bring them all into a common platform.
Okay, interesting. From a technology standpoint, I think what you showed me are very, very high fidelity 3D graphics, right? Of course, your demo it's just an MVP, what you showed me, but given the challenges that we have around hardware limitations, latency, bandwidth, is there any plans from your platform standpoint to support high fidelity rendering of these experiences?
So we would start with a low poly environment itself. So even right now, it's not very high poly, and we are even going to take it down because we want more people to be there. But some certain experiences like VR experiences, so they can stay high poly. So we are not limiting ourselves into a particular level of detail, such.
All right, thank you. I think time's just up. Thank you so much. So now I invite the very last team we have today, Octo Protocol, with Alan and his team, from France, Belgium, and Lebanon. So Octo Protocol, is an algorithmic stablecoin that utilizes debit protection to neutralize collateral volatility. So Alan, if you're ready, yeah, over to you.
Hi, everyone. Right. May I get started?
Yep. We can hear you.
Judges, buckle up and let's get started. I'm just going to share my screen. So, right. Just. Right. I'm Alan, and I'm based in France, but I'm originally from Lebanon, and I'm actually talking right now to you from Beirut, where a lot of people think that our whole financial system should be redesigned by young people, and that's exactly our philosophy at Odoo, because we think that disruptive innovation comes with young people. And as DeFi enthusiasts, it doesn't seem okay to us that the pillar of tomorrow's economy is so unstable. And even that stable coins that are supposed to be the most secure crypto asset are not, obviously not. So we've decided to undertake this issue by building impact. So the real question here is how to make people regain trust in stablecoins while giving new momentum for global crypto adoption. Nowadays, the most competitive actors are gigantic black boxes. It's just like throwing someone in a dark room with sunglasses on and expecting them to feel confident in there. Quite unrealistic, right? So by bringing together decentralization, transparency, and performance, Odoo helps people make clear and confident choices in the crypto space. And we're achieving this by creating our own algorithmic stablecoin, USDO, backed in a way that has never been done before. We're not offering an alternative, but an entirely new solution. We use derivatives to neutralize collateral volatility. Our main goal with USDO is to give you your money back. Let's say you swap $100 worth of ETH in USDO. Then you'll always be able to withdraw the exact same amount, and this even if ETH's price drops by 90%. However, this protection is super costly, so we had to build a more optimized and affordable product for it. And that is our own and unique derivative. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad to introduce to you the Onion option, the most flexible product in the market. The Onions don't expire, allowing us to only pay a single entry tax on our collateral, while benefiting from other technical advantages. The Onion option will be a game changer, appealing to all market participants. We're also building our DEX to sell them. Back to USDO, we use Onion options to neutralize collateral volatility. Thus, USDO is a fully collateralized algorithmic stablecoin backed by derivatives. Let's now talk about our revenue model. First, you'll need to understand that USDO is the keystone of a gigantic top-tier ecosystem that has the potential to generate impressive trading volumes and profits thanks to both transaction and DEX fees. In the future, we'll be focusing on developing more income streams. We're a team of crypto enthusiasts driven by passion and determination. Capable of pushing mountains, we started from nothing to come up with a revolutionary product. In only 3 months, we managed to get concrete user validation as well as build an MVP. And I'll make a quick demo right now of our MVP, which is our algorithm. So we've made a simulation where we've set up a portfolio of $1,000 with positions, both with positions in UST, ETH, and USDO. Here, taking in consideration all variables detailed in our documentation, you can see that this is the period, the most tragic period for the crypto market. It was about a year ago when UST depegged. You can see that if you were to hold UST at that time, it would be completely liquidated. If you were to hold ETH, you would lose a bit of capital, but it would still be okay. But if you would have hold USDO, you would have been completely covered, because that's what we bring to the market. It's stability, and even if in the worst case scenarios. So this algorithm is detailed in our technical documentation online. And we also built a UX just to see how our final product would look like. We have also managed to get feedback and support from well-known institutional advisors that we would like to thank. We aim to conquer the stablecoin market. And to achieve this, we aim to raise $750,000 in SAFE by June, since we're not valorized yet. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Alan, for energetic pitch. So we'll now proceed to Q&A. If any of our judges would like to begin.
I love the energy. Awesome. So two questions for you. One, you said it's fully collateralized. Fully collateralized by what?
It is. It's fully collateralized. So basically, when a user gives us ETH, we take half of its collateral to open a long position. So that's just detailing the token. And another would be a short position, which is a synthetic short position that we build thanks to our Ionian option. And that's the way we...
So Ethereum is like your reserve? Is that the way I should think about this?
So for now, we've built our simulations on Ethereum, but I think that on a longer term, it would be better to build it on a layer 2 token to get rid of all the transaction fees that are really high.
Got it. Okay. And obviously, this is a massive market right now. Wall Street Journal said something about Tether just yesterday, some of the challenges within it. What is your plan and strategy on the go-to-market ultimately to displace this, which there's, again, a lot of network effects and a lot of standardization. Coinbase, et cetera, have kind of their favorites. How would you plan to get into that?
So like we've detailed on this slide, we plan to raise funds in June to get customer validate, to get user experience validation, but also test our technology while launching it on the testnet by September. And then, if everything goes well, we would be deploying our V1 in early 2024.
Okay.
And of course, this implies testing Ionian options with a restricted number of retail traders to see if it fits demand.
Okay, maybe we'll have Josh next for her question.
Yeah. Hi, thank you. I love the energy. Thank you so much for the presentation.
Thank you.
An algorithmic stablecoin is an interesting choice in my world, and I'm just wondering. So, and forgive me if I've misunderstood an element of your project, but if it uses reserves of derivatives to lower volatility, how are you estimating the derivatives' lower volatility to begin with?
So I think that Julien is a lot more could respond a lot more efficiently to this question. And so if he may.
Well, I just answer because Julien cannot right now. So basically, we have ETH that the user gives us. And the simple fact of holding ETH is basically betting up on the price of ETH, right? I mean, the simple fact of having ETH in your portfolio is a long position. So what we want to recreate is a short position. To do so, we tried to use short futures, but you cannot because of the funding rate that we would have to pay, and it's just not possible. For instance, UXD, another algorithmic stablecoin, tried it, and they crashed because it was not possible. So we looked at options, because when you hold options, you're able to recreate a short position and you do not have to pay any funding rate. We tried it and it wasn't possible because options expire. And thus you have to replace your money. So if you replace your money, you have to pay transaction fees again, which is just not possible again. So we created our own derivative, which is basically an option that never expires. And thanks to this project, we are able to create a short position that never expires, and we don't have to pay any tax besides an entry tax. So we have a long position, the one on the Ethereum, and we have a short position that we recreate thanks to our derivative. And having both a long position and a short position neutralizes the volatility. It may sound really simple. It isn't, because the real challenge and the real innovation behind our project is the DEX we are building. Because this derivative project doesn't exist, we have to create our own exchange. And we also have to create our own automated market maker system to sell them, which means we have to create an algorithm that is able to price our derivative. And this is the challenge. This is where all the math are in our documentation. And we do have a complete technical documentation available online that explains how the stablecoin works, how the DEX works, and how the synergy works between everything. So everything is in the technical documentation.
Yeah, thank you very much for your answer. It's definitely, algorithmic stablecoins are definitely not simple in any way or form, but I appreciate your answer very much. Thank you.
And I think that's it. Time's up. Thank you so much, Ellen. I think that's all, for all our 10 pitches that we have for today. Great pitches from everyone. So good job. I think without further ado, we're the last leg, of the event today. I'll now invite the judges, into a separate room. You should see a pop-up in your screen, for judges' deliberation. Yeah. And then meanwhile, maybe I'll invite, my co-host Keith back up on stage. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you so much, guys, for your attention.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so if I can have everyone still
Thank you,
here.
everyone.
Thank you. Yeah. So I guess, as the judges go into deliberation, in the meantime, again, I just want to give a shout out to all our global sponsors. Google for Startups, MyRobot, where all our participants' dashboard are hosted, and also GoDaddy. And then up next, also a big shout out to all the digital stacks, I guess, price and perks sponsors. So all the digital stack providing all the digital stacks that all of you have access to. Things like softwares, platforms, and applications that you can use to help you kickstart your ideas. And of course, not forgetting the cool prizes that our winners will be getting. So really a big thank you, for all of the sponsors, for your kind support. So we'd like to give a shout out to our media partners, CoinGecko, Bean Crypto, Technation, and Mickey for helping us broadcast and share this amazing event, with your users and network. And then also want another shout out. So lots of people to thank, and not least, to our community partners from all around the world, from universities, startup communities, accelerators. I think we're able to bring together all these participants, really thanks to your effort, for helping us spread the word out. And I think that's all the people that we want to thank. So I think we are giving the judges, about 15 minutes or so to do a bit of deliberation. So I think, so earlier on, I don't know if for those of you who are still here with us, I mentioned earlier just now, letting on a little secret that, in the Gather Town that 29 of you are on now. There are secret rooms that we've planted in the map. So not too sure, if you guys actually found that, figure out, where the maps are. So if you guys could type in the chat. Meanwhile, if I see, okay, I see, keep your online. So I think don't know if anyone found out, but I think what we'll do now is also just do a little nice interactive event, I guess, activity, as we bring you guys, and figure out, through the 3 secret rooms that we have. So I don't know, Keith, if you want to bring the audience through on our Gather Town map.
Yeah, I think I can guide verbally. So you, for those who are not on the Get In Sound, you can see us playing in the background. And for those who are now listening on Get In Sound, you can follow us. So I think we will have our organizer, Nefita, let's go on the stage, right? So everybody is seeing her moving around with a really cute yellow hair character moving around. You can click on her icon, and tap follow, so you know where she is walking around in the whole venue. So Nev will be taking us right now on live to find out those 3 rooms, the secret rooms. We're gonna show you what's happening inside. Let's go walk around and see whether you can find the treasure. So climb up on this small rocket, a couple like really interesting rocket, and the UFO plane around. Also the there
we go.
What's happened? What's happened? Is it a secret room?
Yes.
Wow. Let's walk around and see if we can. We actually see people already in. So we see Joyce, who is really smart to actually come into the room earlier.
Oh, I think we're back out.
Oh, you literally just came out. It's an entire maze happening in the whole metaverse.
Yeah.
Just imagine if this stuff, right, happening not only in the Get It Sound, the metaverse like 2D pixelated version, but actually on the Mars, right? Also in the whole VR environment. That's pretty cool. You can enjoy the gaming. You can also enjoy the stage. You can enjoy the people with the dining area and also the game playing tables to mingle with people. Do you find your way out? Go to the right at the bottom. Yeah, for those who are still who are in a Get It Sound, you can walk around and to find the 3 secret rooms. There's a hint, right? Let's open a hint, right? The hint is there's a one room that is happened on the right bottom of the whole map. Yep, you can join us to walk around. Yes, let's go to the bottom right. And we'll explore once again what are the rocket. I think it's a really big giant rocket that we really have to take a look. Keep walking on the right bottom. So yeah, I see you guys moving all around. Let's go to the bottom right. There's one big room, really big hints.
Yeah.
You can try to
right one is the
climb up the stairs. You try to climb the stairs and then see what's happening. There's one pretty disdain rocket, right, in a map. Okay, I think let's climb up and see what's happened. JP and the people you're working can actually follow us. Whoa!
Oh, the maze. Okay.
That's the maze. That's the maze.
It's supposed to mimic, if any of you watched just the Squid Game, that's the room that's mimicking. So I think we are supposed to answer a few questions, to open up the door. So there are many stages as we go along. again, I think we'd love to involve the audience, and this is a mini exercise. I think a lot of the questions about startup weekends. So just want to, if you guys are paying attention, to what both of me and Keith has been talking about since the start, you guys will know the answer, at these stages. So if we could click, I think if you go to the right side, there's a TV, and that should give you a hint of what the password should be. Yeah, right side of the door. No, this is the mirror. Oh, we're back out.
Yep, so the big maze is happening with the big rocket. So you guys can go inside trying to crack the password.
Yeah.
And then to pass the challenge.
Yeah, right.
Yep, Tony, come up.
Okay, I think we could go to the last secret room. There's one last secret room all the way on the left side of the map. Hidden in that exhibition, you'll see a donut. So it's a very interesting one there. I would be surprised if any of you could actually figure that out. Yeah, all the way to the left side. Bottom left, yeah.
The Gateway Town is pretty interesting creation. If I have like a function like tool like this in my company, right? I'm probably gonna take like 1 to 2 hours every day to play around, rather than existing IM2.
Yeah. Oh,
Whoa.
there we go. Yeah. So again, I think if any one of you watches the movie called Everything Everywhere and All Around, okay, I can't really remember the movie title, but that is supposed to mimic what the movie is all about also. Yeah, so actually that's just the 3 secret rooms that we have hidden all in the map. So for those who are at Gather Town, yeah, feel free to explore that. So yeah. So then right now, so once we're done with the demo, I think now, we will be breaking off for a very short 15 minutes break, while our judges deliberate. So again, I think, let me share my screen.
We hope you guys have some fun on a Get In Town.
Yeah. All right. So I'll share my screen and then, yeah, so sit back, relax as we bring you back, to 2018, where we had our largest physical startup weekend over 54 hours here in Singapore. So really, for those of you who've not attended a physical hackathon before, I think this is a short video, to show, kind of things that we've done, over the past few years. Yeah, so if I put this.
It's time to wake up, get up, and get out there. Turn an idea from concept to reality. Go up on stage and tell strangers about this crazy, wow idea that you have. It doesn't matter if you don't have an idea. Just turn up and contribute according to your skill set.
Form a team, work together, build a prototype, validate, and pitch. This is your chance to embark on an adventure to a better version of yourself.
Network with successful entrepreneurs, investors, and founders.
When you go up there to present your prototype in front of the expert panel of judges,
this could be your stepping stone to launch your own startup. It's going to be one hell of a ride,
but it's totally worth it.
You will have tons of fun along the way. No talk, all action in just 54 hours.
This is what Startup Weekend Singapore is all about.
This is it. We are back with a bang and we are taking things to the next level. This year, we have brought the most innovative division of the government to the party, where GovTech will share their expertise, knowledge and friends in other ministries to help solve issues in our society. As our main partner for Startup Weekend, we want to help participants ideate, build and solve big problems that will impact society positively. Startup Weekend Singapore Mega begins with day 1, where participants, judges, mentors and guests all come together to kickstart one of the largest startup weekend in Asia. Participants with ideas will go on stage and have 60 seconds to pitch to the crowd. Everyone then goes on to vote for the best ideas and form teams around them, hacking their way into the night and trying to build their dreams. Startup Weekend Singapore is the first of many firsts. For our first time ever, we have our very own Startup Weekend Distinguished Alumni, Joelle Leong, the co-founder of Shopback, for our opening keynote. We have our very first Startup Weekend hoodie and a dedicated pre-accelerator program that will help the teams build their startups and pilot with users after the weekend. I am very excited to be here today as our journey began months back to build this masterpiece that will hopefully touch the lives of every participant who joins Startup Weekend. On behalf of the organizing team, I bid you a warm welcome if it's your first time here. And to all our returning participants, welcome back. Nobody will understand the journey you're going through, so if you're going through hell, keep going. Hustle, be strong, and fuel your ambitions with the passion and support from your fellow founders. This is the weekend where concepts are turned into companies, where dreams are turned into reality. I wish you the very best and good luck.
But most importantly, keep in contact, think of the ideas that you have, think of where this has been done before, and lastly, keep things simple.
Hi, this is my first time today at Startup Weekend Singapore. I'm here to make new friends and great ideas.
It's my first time here at Startup Weekend Singapore, and I'm 14 years old. I'm here today because I'd like to learn more about entrepreneurship, as well as to network with the various mentors and speakers.
It's my first time joining Startup Weekend Singapore. I'm from Germany, and I want to find out how fast we can build a company with an amazing team of 5 people in just one weekend.
It's an honor and a privilege to be spending the weekend with you guys.
Let's get on with it. No top call action.
It's my second Startup Weekend Singapore, and we want to try something different, and we want to make a difference in one weekend.
It's my second time joining Startup Weekend Singapore. I'm back because I really like the atmosphere and the feeling of working on something exciting overnight.
Did not expect people to actually vote for my idea because I was the last person to be picked. And then the team of 5 that I formed today, except for a friend I came with, they were completely new. So I'm very happy and excited to work with them all together for this idea that I pitched about.
I feel very happy to know that there are people who are not just my friends, they believe in my idea. And I'm very glad to be able to work with my friends and people I've just met at the event.
Since yesterday, boundaries have been broken, friendships have been forged, and collaborations have begun. Over 80 ideas were pitched last night, and teams have been formed to work on the most popular ideas voted by their fellow participants. Day 2 is all about getting participants to continue to work together to finesse their ideas. Some of them may even go out of the building to get their idea validated by their potential end users. Aside from that, they'll have the grand opportunity to meet some of the best mentors in Asia's startup ecosystem, such as Sing Chen, Joelle, and Carl, the co-founders of Paktor, Shopback, and SGAG respectively. And that's just 3 out of over 30 mentors that have gathered here today to provide feedback to the teams and nurture the next generation of entrepreneurs. At the end of the night, the teams will proceed to practice their pitch for the big day tomorrow. But that's not all. If you've been to Startup Weekend before, one major thing participants love about us is how much fun they have amidst all that hacking. Delivering an amazing participant experience is always top of our minds, and you've got to see it to believe it. Handbrewed coffee, gourmet food 24/7, beanbags and unicorn floats for resting, live food stations, bubble tea, cause extravagant, but it all goes towards creating the most amazing environment for our participants to get their creative juices flowing. Having been both a participant and an organizer myself, I know how important the second day is, as participants go through a roller coaster of emotions, building their idea and learning to deal with rejections and harsh criticisms while prepping for their final presentations. But winning is only half of it. Having fun is the other half.
Yesterday, our team actually went through the problem that we need to solve, the solution, the business, and also the value proposition of our idea. After that, we went home at about 3 a.m. and because I'm the designer of the team, I had to do a little bit of wireframing on Experience XD before I come here. So I slept like roughly about 4:30 and I reached here today at about 10 a.m.
My team is currently still trying to scope out the problem and target the root causes. It's currently still a work in progress, and we actually spent a lot of time last night till late discussing about it because we were very excited, so I ended up sleeping at 3 a.m.
I really like the energy. I mean, just really seeing all these crazy, talented people, driven people, just wanting to do good for society. I think that's one good reason for me to be back in and contribute in a small way that I can. Yeah, by just giving some advice and mentoring some of these guys.
What defines a good idea? There's a thing known as the Columbus egg, and basically it's the idea that seems so obvious but nobody ever thought of it before, but the moment you say it, it's so obvious.
Help solve the problem of social isolation, especially amongst the elderly.
Say no to plastics, reduce and redistribute excess food.
The willingness to really think independently, really make sure that you're thinking for yourself.
After yesterday's pitch practice session, some teams continued to work through the night to get in as much progress as possible before the big day. Some of them may have even pivoted from their original idea after getting new insights from speaking with their target customers, sticking true to the lean startup spirit. Although exhausted, participants really got out of their comfort zone and continued pushing limits together. Today is the third and most anticipated day of Startup Weekend Singapore. Pumped up with a combination of coffee, Red Bull and adrenaline, every team member is hustling to complete their final touches to their prototype and pitch. Qualifying teams will get the grand opportunity of a lifetime to present their final pitches and idea to some of the most illustrious titans of the industry, such as Chief Executive of GovTech, Ping Sun, and Facebook Country Director, Sandhya. Judges will then deliberate to decide on the winning teams based on 4 criteria, which are customer validation, technical execution, business model, and impact. Winners can then look forward to amazing prizes such as laptops, co-working space passes, AWS credits, and other carefully curated prizes to help them along their startup journey. And finally, in the truest Startup Weekend Singapore style, we will end with a big party to celebrate the achievement and effort of everyone involved. Only time will tell where the ideas and teams from today will progress to. Although it is the last leg of an exhilarating adventure, this is just a start to what could be a journey of a lifetime. So go for it and do your very best. Change the world one weekend at a time. winning team has to be absolutely anchored by a strong purpose and passion. There will be a team that never gives up and a team that keeps learning.
I think the most important thing to me is number one, you must think big. When things go wrong, there's actually something good happening.
Not only are you guys thinking about the very important social issues that we face as a society, and I think it's really left to you guys to help bring that solution to us through your innovation. You're not just the future, you are the present. You are going to be the solutions for us.
We need that kind of ambition to solve global problems rather than just look at solving Singapore's problems.
Thank you to you for taking that time to come and commit your hard work, your blood, sweat and tears, but most importantly your ideas to develop solutions that will ultimately shape our society and make things better for all of us.
Let's find out who's the winner.
For the third place winner of Startup Weekend Singapore Mega 2018. Congratulations!
Outspoken! Put Woo! Here to learn!
Are you guys ready to know who won Startup Weekend Mega Singapore 2018?
This kind of event actually brings people from all kinds of backgrounds. You have designers, you have hustlers, and you have developers. And all of them will share their experience with one another. And you won't expect the amount of things you will learn from this kind of thing. As a first timer myself in this kind of event, I honestly think people should at least attend this kind of event once in their life.
This is my 7th Startup Weekend event, and this actually are the best Startup Weekend event ever. I think the best thing is they have a lot of food, and also at the same time they have a lot of mentors, and you have a lot of support from the community and from the government, especially from GovTech. And this is something that is you cannot find it in any other events, and this is the best ever you can get.
This is my second time in Startup Weekend Singapore, and it was an amazing experience. A lot of great food, a lot of great environment, a lot of great mentors to help you get things started. So if you ever have a burning passion to do something big, to have the next big idea, even if you do not know what to do next, but you want to meet great people around, this is a perfect place for you to come together to spin off your next big idea and probably take control of your future.
It's a really empowering opportunity to be here because not that long ago, you did, if you wanted to do a startup, you were completely on your own. A lot of peers who will be going through the same things and trying to solve the same problems that you are, and figuring that out together and having this opportunity to meet people like that, I think is extremely valuable.
Join Startup Weekend, it's 54 hours of hell.
your sleepless nights, but it'll be unforgettable. It'll be the best moments of your life, and life-changing like it has changed mine.
All right, I think that's the video, but unfortunately, our judges are having a hard time, trying to narrow down to our top winners. So yeah, so we have a bit of a time. So it'll just be me and you and Keith for now. But meanwhile, all the finalists, please stay hang tight there. We'll let you know, once the judges are ready, to come back up on stage, with their results. Yeah.
Right. I mean, like, we really want to have events offline because people say like the free food, there's really like good friendship. They can travel all around to really create really cool project in Singapore in different like places. Right. We actually see the whole team of like all the protocol on this stage. I know you guys really want to win the game. Like for me and Yi-Ting, we don't know any like result at all. For us, it's same as all of you guys, right? We'll click and see who's the winner, and we celebrate all together, right? With this saying, may I actually bring back to the stage only me and Yi-Ting? Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I mean, since we have some time before judges are coming on the stage, why don't we talk about like, since both of us actually work with many entrepreneurs on a daily basis, right? We've been seeing people, maybe not from Startup Weekend, maybe in other like mingle events or hackathons, right? These people, they want to be an entrepreneur with the same ambitions like you guys, right? Or you guys are more like even big ambitions, right? I want to create something in the Web3 space, really like frontier, trending, futuristic, forward-thinking like ideas. What's happening in between when they finish a hackathon, whether they win or lose, until they create a company that is VC investable? What's your experience on that?
Oh, wow. Okay, so my experience, I mean, I work for the past few years, I work within the early stage startups. So meaning teams who are from the pre-seed and seed stage. So probably a bit more mature than, maybe a lot of you guys who had before pre-seed, who had an idea during the hackathon. So what happens within like now, whether or not you win or not, so when you're investor ready, I think it's really, I guess, substantiate your idea. So a lot of you, I know that you have an idea, you have a bit rough idea what you want to do, go about doing it. But I think, what VCs are looking for, if not, and Keith, feel free to jump in because I know you have a VC background. But for my experience, what we look for is really a very clear roadmap. So a lot of times it's not just going to be just an idea with a, I guess you're not too sure whether or not it's going to succeed. But having a very clear roadmap, perhaps, from the next, I would say 1 to 2 years, having a very clear milestones, maybe from Q1, Q2, so on. What is the milestones that, you guys are hoping to achieve or can achieve? If you can showcase that, to investors, to partners, to collaborators, I think you'll get a lot, I guess, partnership and collaborations and people coming in to work with you guys. So I think that would be like what I see, from my experience. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely right. I mean, having a big clear idea about what's happening next, because a lot of ideas you come up with this Startup Weekend is really rough. You just like having an idea that I want to win a game and I have really like fancy idea, and it may win, it may not win, right? So besides having a clear idea about the roadmap, and I think that I may suggest participants or audience who are really early in their startup life stage, have to be very clear about what problems or values are they trying to provide and solve, right? One of the biggest failure that we have seen in investment is that people just love their solution. They spend like months or weeks to really build an MVP, but that's really bulky. It may be actually good to have a developer backgrounds, but instead, if you spend too much time but not validating your ideas with your customers, which means eventually they may not love your product, they may not pay for your product at all, right? So how do you actually adopt build machine learning idea to change the idea bit by bit, eventually get more customers one by one? That is more like a steady approach, less risky approach. Also to show investors that you're building something that is like low cost and high return. Yep, I think we have a lot of judges coming out. Thank you for spending a lot of time to actually debate. We know it's really tough, right? But we have to make a big announcement here based on the deliberations with the past 10 teams. Before we do the announcement, right, I'd like to invite our judges to give a couple like remarks on your impressions or overall comments of the whole events. I mean, let's do ladies first. I think like Josh, you are unmute yourself. Let's go ahead.
Sure. Just firstly, the enthusiasm, the spirit, it's everything that you'd want to see in an entrepreneur, and that was across all the groups. It's been a really fantastic experience and wonderful and privileged to be on this side of pitching. I'm normally on the other side, so really, really great work, all of you. I think something to kind of leave with you is there's lots of people with ideas in the world, but what separates us are the ones that actually go and do something about it. So even if you don't win today, please make sure you continue and keep pushing forward your projects. It's so valuable to keep on going and really believe in what you're doing. So thank you for having me.
Awesome. Likewise. Andre, you want to do next? Go ahead, please.
Oh, sure, happy to. I'm based in San Francisco, so I woke up at 5:30 or 4:30 actually to be ready this morning. But I wanted to say that the passion and enthusiasm and the variety of topics that the teams put forward just woke me up completely. Now I'm ready to to go on and build some more. So congratulations to everybody who's participated. I know the last few months must have been very, very intense. It was super energizing for me. I want to thank and congratulate all the teams who have been building. And I really look forward to seeing where you're going to bring these ideas in the next few years.
Cool. I mean, like I'm actually at midnight right now, 1 something, but I'm still really awake because of all the really energetic like pitches from the 10 teams. Let's have next. How about AJ?
Hey, thanks, Keith. Yeah, I think didn't sacrifice much of sleep like Andre. I'm in Dubai, but I think I was not planning to attend today. There was somebody else who was supposed to come, but I got a call from the organizers 2 hours back that I have to attend. Cancel my Saturday evening plans to attend this, and couldn't have been more happier than this. At Polygon, we are exposed to ideas and builders almost on a daily basis, and still I'm so excited to see all the fresh ideas here. I saw a bunch of DeFi ideas and NFTs and Metaverse and marketplaces. So congratulations to all of you. Everybody is a winner. I'm sure Keith is going to announce the list of 1, 2, 3, but according to me, no idea is a bad idea. No entrepreneur is a bad entrepreneur. And there's a lot of learning. I myself have started a web services startup, a travel startup, a beverage startup before I got it lucky with my 3D and AR startup, right? So I think just continue the hustle. My only point of advice would be that we're not in a bull market. I know 3 months is too less. You're all probably early in your journey. So back yourself that you've tried. I think you're all a winner because you're here and presenting ideas, cut it through thousands of applications that have come. So kudos to all of you for that. But, this is not a bull market, but just playing at a surface level will get you through. You will have to go to the depth. The market is for the builders. So please go evaluate your options, look at it from 360-degree perspective, play your own devil's advocate, challenge yourself, look at what is actually unique and practical about your idea. And I think the answer is just within you itself. So all the best to everyone. Do not stop building. Do not stop because you're not probably in the top of the list here. I think you can just go and use this as an opportunity to create the next unicorn out there. So all the best to everyone, and do reach out to me if you need any sort of help from Polygon. Thank you.
Very well said. I mean, there's no failure, but always about learning, right? Lauren?
Today was amazing. There's some really, really impressive pitches. You really thought, like lots of the teams have really done their research as to the size of the potential market and also some really clear use cases, because I think sometimes in Web3, people are creating solutions and then looking for a problem, and actually some of these like really solve something important. So so I was really impressed on that. So I'd just say keep in mind real people and their real needs when building of like there are some fantastic ideas in there. Just need to make sure you also explain it in a way that would make sense to, for example, Web3 newbies. If we really want to have kind of mainstream adoption of all of this set of technologies and products, then be bearing that in mind, making it make sense to everybody and show them why they should care and embrace Web3. So yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity.
Absolutely. How about Praveer?
Thank you, Keith. Like Andre, I had to wake up at 5 a.m. or something. Apart from needing more coffee, this was an awesome experience. I enjoyed the diversity of ideas like the other judges mentioned. Even unique ideas like mixing conservation and environmental influence into the metaverse, and unique ideas around all parts of the industry and the region. So thank you, and keep persistent and keep learning, and kudos to all of you that participated. Thank you.
Good, very nice to have you. And we should have Dave as well. Dave? Okay, no worries. We will invite him once again when he's back on Zoom, on our live stream. Cool. So I mean, like there are many like good words being encouraged and motivated by the judges is really true about, because they really like strong experience of entrepreneurship, investment in tech. Basically, they know about how to shape you forward. So winner or not, just like bear in mind, if you want to make something happen, just keep building. Eventually, the people like recognizing what you provide to the market. So the winning teams are going to announce very soon. Who do you think will win the game? You can interact with us on YouTube Live or on Get It Sound. Put your name, put the name that you think is going to be winner. Cool. I don't want to make a lot of like secret right now because announcing very soon. For third prize, the award would be $500 cash in USDC by unstoppable domains, and 3-month subscriptions of Keynote up to $5,000. Handmade organic candle and read diffuser set by Alibaba Cloud, and free ad-free subscriptions worth $10,000 plus 50% discount on first product purchase. The prize going to Gata. Gata. Let me invite you on the stage, Gata team.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the prize.
Cool. Nesta from Chile. Will you also
Yes.
like share a screen? We can take
Sorry?
a really quick photo with all the judges and you. If you also have teammates, you can also invite them to take a really quick photo together on the screen.
Yes.
So somebody in our organizing team would take a really quick screenshot, just like keep yourself smiling on the screen, or take a shot and that's it. Cool. Cool. Awesome. Cool. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. And also appreciating your effort to help other team on the interpretation of the Q&A. You did a really good job on that. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so up next we have the second prize. So for second prize winners, you earn about 1,000 cash USDC by unstoppable domains, 6-month subscriptions of Keynote, and handmade candle and read diffuser again by Alibaba Cloud, and also free ad-free subscription worth $10,000. Yeah, so in second prize, we have Collective DAO. Right, let's give a round of applause, for the team. If we could have all the team members up on stage so we could take a quick photo. Yeah.
Yeah. Hello. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Are we good with the photo? All right. So 1, 2, 3. Smile, everyone. All right, I think we are good. So
Yeah, there's a special prize for most of the startup weekend that we know. So usually there's a prize called Creative Prize to really appreciate those who may not be in the top 3, but they're really outstanding. They're using some of the really innovative solutions to really solve their problems, right? But judges think that they may also want to get appreciation because they really spend the effort in their weekend to make something happen, right? So for other addition, for example, for sustainability, we have a prize called Impact Prize, also with the same purpose. And since we are in Web3, then we're doing the prize with a WebMe prize, right? Because we all want to make it. Cool. So for this prize, the award including $500 cash, USDC, by Unstoppable Domains, and 3-month subscriptions of Keynote up to $5,000, and handmade organic candle and read diffuser set by Alibaba Cloud, and 3 F3 subscriptions worth $10,000 plus 50% discount on the first product's purchase. And the winners go to Auto Protocol. So Alan, your team, you now can switch on your camera. The whole team, please join up on the stage. And we have our team to take a photo. So just like keep smiling, keep smiling. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Thanks, guys, for joining. It's a really whole team. I like the team energy. That's why you're worth the WebMe prize.
yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you
And
so
then,
much.
Congrats.
Congratulations. All right, and the moment we're waiting for grand champions. So the team, you earn 1,005 cash by Astound Domains, 5 Bluetooth speakers by Alibaba Cloud, and 12 months subscription of Keynote, handmade organic candle and reed diffuser set, and also free Ad3 subscription. So in the first place, we have Entropy Labs. All right, let's give a big round of applause, for the team. If I could have the team up on stage with your camera on, and yeah, we'll take a quick photo. All right. I think we have Entropy Labs here. So, all right, 3, 2, 1. We'll take a photo. 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you so much. I think, yeah, that's it, for all the winners. Congratulations again, to all our winners, or those who not win, really, for coming on tonight, for the great features that you've done for today. Really, thank you all also, for all the judges, who were here to listen to our team pitch, and really, give very good and valuable feedback, to each and every one of them. So for the winners, if I'm going to ask you, to stay back, for a bit on our Zoom later for interview right after this. But yeah, so really thank you all for coming today. So all our participants, audiences, judges, I think we couldn't ask for a better audience. And we'd just like to invite everyone, to stay connected to the community. So I've listed here, all the social media channels that you guys can keep up, follow, and look forward to. And yeah, so before we end, I think I just want to end off with a very nice quote that we like, by Scott Belsky. It's not just about ideas, but it's about making ideas happen. So really to encourage those of you, who are audience today, hopefully bring your ideas to life one day. And for those of you who are working on ideas, hopefully see you really, in our next startup weekend. So yeah, so I think just want to end off the quote, end of the day, with this quote. I think, and that's about it. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Love to see you guys again. And we'll see you all, in our next run. So I know for all the judges, pitchers, and winners, please do stay back. We'd love to do a quick interview, just after this event. But yeah, and for those who are tuning in online on Discord, Gathertown, YouTube, Facebook, thank you all today, for coming and joining us for this very event. Yeah.